Okay, we are live. Welcome to the stream and welcome back. It's felt like it's been an eternity since we last played, but here we are. We are playing the Hawks today. It's going to be a good one. The Hawks are very in a very similar position to us. They've got some decent players, but they're basically overall just mid. Yeah, so it's going to be a ripper of a game today. There's a lot of discussions around certain individuals on this team. Ben Simmons is one of them. I mean, we got some injury updates today. Ben Simmons is begun some light individual court work, so I don't know when he's going to be returning. But you'd imagine a few weeks away. Cam Thomas is a little bit, well, actually, probably far closer to returning. He has been cleared for increased on-court activity, which is exciting. So he could be back in the next week or so. So that's one player that we need back desperately. So it's good to see that is well and truly on the cards in the next week or so. Another player who's been talking recently is Mikal Bridges. He had an interview recently with Taylor Rooks, and he discussed, why is the phone going off now? I don't know if you can hear that, but I'll continue. He's been very self-aware. He knows that he's not playing in the best way at the moment. He knows he's pretty well off form. But this next run of games is going to be a great opportunity for us to bank some wins and potentially for Mikal to, even things out a little bit. I don't know what his ceiling looks like this season. There was a graph that I did see which talks about the early 2023-24 isolation scorers in terms of points per possession, and Mikal Bridges is the worst in the entire league with a minimum of, or for a minimum of 25 possessions, he's at a 0.63 rate, whereas Spencer Dinwiddie is at a 1.19 point per possession mark. So he's pretty good. He doesn't have too many possessions to his name. But I mean, Mikal is well below league average. So it's going to be important that he returns to, well, the form that we desire. If he's going to be taking a lot of touches, he needs to score the ball. I think I saw another stat, which you also will be able to see to your right. Mikal Bridges, when he takes, in terms of 2-pointers, when he takes one dribble, he's at 86%. But then you go to 7+ dribbles and he's shooting it at 44.5%. So he doesn't have a handle. Or he's been taking quite a few of those kinds of shots, especially when, he's had to be the focal point of the offense. No Cam Thomas to, take up a lot of that usage. It's been Mikal, and that's not really his game. Is a lot better when he takes 0 to 2 dribbles. Anything more than that, and it becomes a bit of an issue. Because sometimes he'll place himself in a bit of discomfort in terms of situation in the half court. He'll just get lost under the basket, or he'll hold up the offense, generally speaking. So I think the big key out of this all is that the defense has to lift, because the defense has been really, really bad. Some stats for you as well. Statistically, the Nets are third in fast break points, fourth in 3-point percentage, third in defensive rebounding percentage, and seventh in opponent free throw attempt rate. So it's good we're keeping oppositions off the free throw line. We're ensuring that we avoid the offensive rebounds that we usually are very good at conceding. Fast break points and 3-point percentage comes along with that because of those open looks. But here's the problem. Last in opponent turnover rate, last in steals, 23rd in defensive rating, 29th in free throw attempt rate, 24th in second chance points, 26th in points in the paint. So we've kept teams off the offensive glass. but we haven't been able to, really capitalize on the rebounding advantage at all. It's been much improved this season, the rebounding. Like, we've limited the offensive rebounds we give away, but we just can't. We've had some really good games where we get a lot of offensive rebounds, but we fall short, with regards to the second chance points. And the fact we're one of the worst teams for points in the paint, that's probably part of it. Because a lot of teams get their offensive rebounds obviously under the basket, and there's putbacks on offer. So that's one thing we're missing. The steals and the turnover rate is the biggest problem, because we've got a team of supposedly elite defenders that can't force a turnover. Last game, we only forced 4 turnovers. And those fast break points and the 3-point percentage, it's actually a miracle that the fast break points we're still third in, because we haven't been able to push the pace nearly as much as when Ben was in the team. The defensive rating is a problem as well, and that comes with the lack of turnovers, because you're not really... Well, I mean, if you can't... Like, it's interesting, because we've kept him off the free throw line, but our defensive rating still sucks. But if we started to, force a few more turnovers, the defensive rating would lift, because there's less possessions for the opposition to work with. The free throws as well, we just haven't... Like, that really coincides with the points in the paint. Like, 29th in free throw attempt rate, 26th in points in the paint. The reason we're so low in points in the paint is because we haven't, gone there enough. And that's why we haven't gotten the free throws that we need so much. Those who have joined us today, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all well. It's been a few days. I mean, we've only had like 2 games in a week, which is sort of baffling to me. We're very close to the start of the game. You can see the lineups there, and you can see for the Hawks, that is their 5. Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter, Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, and Capella. And then the injury reports, it'll go through Dennis Smith, Cam Thomas, and Ben, all in. They are all situated in Brooklyn right now, so they did not travel. So yeah, that is the situation. We're about to commence proceedings here, the first quarter of this big match between 2 teams who I believe are on the same record. The Hawks playing on the second night of a back-to-back. That game was ridiculous yesterday. I mean, them and the Pacers combined for 309 points. And I would not be one bit surprised if that's the biggest aggregate score between 2 teams in one game. It's absolutely ridiculous what they were. Like, the percentages were just ridiculous. We're about to commence this one, though. Let me just full screen that. Get the headset on. Okay, well, that's not going to work. Okay, that's better. All right. Here we go. Big game. Alrighty, here we go. First quarter is underway. The Nets win the tip, and it'll be Spencer Dinwiddie starting things off for the Nets. Bridges. Oh my god, bro. Already ball knocked away by Murray, but we retain possession. 5 to shoot. Claxton into the paint. He lost the ball. He's got to shoot it. Dinwiddie fading 3. It's good! How has he started the game like that? That is a ridiculously shit offensive possession to start things off. But, I mean, that is an incredible piece of work by Spencer Dinwiddie to knock down that 3. Trae Young picked up by Finney-Smith. He passes to Murray. The rhythm 3 is off, and a rebound chased up by Nic Claxton. So Claxton to Bridges. He'll get into the paint. He'll be fouled, and it'll be 2 shots. The interesting thing is, one way you could negate the amount of dribbles that Mikal takes in a game, give Claxton more touches. and encourage him to put the ball on the floor a bit, because he looks pretty good in the post once, you know, he puts the ball on the floor. And Clint Capella, I'm not sure if he can keep up. So, yeah. But free throws for Mikal. This is a good little start here. We've forced a miss by the way of a three-point attempt. And also, we have gotten to the line and scored a three of our own. So the 2 free throws are good. And the Hawks will look for their first points in the game. Screen set. Trae Young on the baseline. It is a good little dump pass to Capella, and he scores over the top of Clax. So Dinwiddie into the paint. He's going to shoot over the top. I'm not sure if that was intended for Claxton. He tried the alley-oop finish anyway, but that was unsuccessful. And now Young into the paint. He'll kick it out to the corner for Johnson, who tripped up and still knocked down the 3. Never mind, his toe was on the line, so it's a 2. Johnson in the paint. He's just turned it over. And CJ, we need a lift from him, because he has been, bar maybe 2 games since his return, he has been god-awful. Murray into the paint. The kick out for Young. The 3-pointer is good. And the Hawks go on a nice little 7-0 run after they gave away the first 5 points of the game. So we've got to be far, far better defensively. Dinwiddie rhythm 3 is good. And obviously these boys are refreshed. The Hawks have obviously played a pretty grueling game. It wasn't that grueling because they scored 152 points. Still lost though. Young. Oh, that's very pretty. He missed it. But Capella with the putback. So already a couple easy points. That's a great dime by Dinwiddie. And I called it before Johnson even shot it. It was a great find to the corner. CJ was wide open. He knocked down the 3. The net did not move. Murray, the bounce pass to Capella. Back to Murray. Really got to get in the passing lanes. Murray in the mid-range is good. So, Spencer. Already 2 threes and an assist to his name. Finney-Smith on the wing. They've got it to Mikal in the corner. We exploited that. He drove it. He kicked it out. And Johnson knocks down the 3. So, 2 threes for Johnson. And 2 threes for Dinwiddie. Accounting for every single one of our field goals in this game so far. They're looking for that Murray-Dinwiddie matchup. There's a defensive 3-second call on Claxton. We really need to be careful with this Hawks team. That Dejounte Murray-Spencer Dinwiddie matchup, I'm not liking it. With all the size we've got, it should be a no-brainer that you get that matchup right. I'd rather maybe Cam Johnson on him. But then again, you sort of have to put Dinwiddie on Murray with all that height they've got. You can't exactly put him on Hunter or Jalen Johnson. So we're just going to have to run with that and maybe make some in-game adjustment. Hunter in the corner. That's a good contest. But Capella with another offensive rebound. And then we have a foul on Cam Johnson. So that is another offensive rebound early. And Day'Ron Sharpe's going to check in at the 8:20 mark after a nice little 3-minute stint to open things. It'll be Claxton to the bench. And thus far, I mean, Clax hasn't really been a presence at the moment. So I actually think that move is a much better decision because Capella and Day'Ron are in essence very similar players, if not the same kind of player. Oh, wow. Hunter, the step back 3, that was well and truly uncalled for because CJ was right there for the contest. Bridges takes more than those 2 dribbles that we said he should take. He's going to back down Trae Young. He's got the size. He passes it out to Finney-Smith. CJ in the corner. He is off. Day'Ron with the offensive rebound. He lost the ball. And what's going on? Wow. Oh, I'd be very surprised if... I'm amazed that Quinn Snyder hasn't actually been thrown out. The ball's hit the back of... or the top of the backboard. That should have actually been ruled out as a play. Well, we shouldn't have been allowed to continue the sequence there. The ball was on the top of the backboard. Usually those ones are like, the whistle is blown and it goes the other way. Yeah, that well and truly was on top. And then they broke out in transition, and then the referees decided to call the whistle. So the referee's doing a bit of sabotaging there. Trae Young, that is a ridiculous 3. Mate. Oh, I mean, this is going to be very interesting to see what a pretty weak defensive team does in order to stop this Hawks offense, because as we said, 152 points yesterday. They've got some offensive weapons all over. The Hawks usually kill us anyway offensively. It's quite ridiculous how many times they've scored 120 points. So I don't know if slowing down the pace is a good or a bad thing. But if we did, I don't think we're conceding 150. Finney Smith in the corner for 3. It's good. And 5 minutes into the game, the Nets have 20 already. So a really good start. Really good start by the Nets. Let me just get the chat up so I can see what you guys are saying. Those who have just joined us, welcome. Oh yeah, I forgot to change the fucking... Oh no, what have I been doing? Oh, mate. We got there. Sorry about that. I just completely forgot to change the screen. That's an absolute mare by me. And I also... all I needed to do was press one button. That's pretty poor. Pretty poor. Okay. Let's have a look at the chat. Nets must defend well or the Hawks will blow them away. Well, at the start of this game, I'm not sure. I think it's the offense that's really contributing to this start. It's not really the defensive work. Let's just have a look at the box score and see what the deal is in the early going. I mean, nearly every net has scored except for Claxton, who's gone to the bench. It's time to put Bridges back in the spotlight because we need a big game from him. He has already scored 5 points in this one, and he's had 2 assists. So if he's not shooting the ball, he's got to be helping facilitate, move that ball around. And so far, I mean, we've done a really good job of that. 5 assists on 6 made field goals, only the 1 turnover. I mean, Cam Johnson's hit 2 threes. That's a good sign. Spencer Dinwiddie's hit 2 threes. I mean, last game, I don't even think he scored more than like 7 points. And that's probably being generous. He made only 1 made field goal in the last game. So the fact he's already had 2 of those is good. We've hit 5 threes already. And even though our defense has been pretty crappy, that being said, we've, offensively just been on a tear. The Hawks have only made 2 of 6, which, I mean, isn't hideous to start the game, especially when you're getting a feel for things. Trae Young started really well, and that's like invariably probably the player I'm concerned about the most. But Dejounte Murray has had some really good games this season, so that's going to be interesting to see as well. Yeah. So that is the start. Make sure to drop a like as well if you are enjoying the stream thus far. That's obviously one of the more important things. We need to make sure that you are enjoying. Alrighty. So a really good start by the Nets. Really good start. 5 minutes in, 20 points. That is incredibly good, given we could not buy a bucket the other day. That's an open 3 for Hunter, and that's going to be shooting practice because CJ didn't fight through the screen well enough. And, I mean, NBA players are going to knock those down for fun. So, 2018, The score, Johnson into the paint. The corner three by Bridges is well off. And a rebound by Hunter. Murray in transition. He rolls it out. There's an open three. And that's going to be good. I mean, that's more shooting practice. That is just shit. And JV is going to call a timeout. Because what are they doing? That is a going through the motions type possession right there. I mean, defense is, I mean, we've already said this once. It's absolutely shit. There's no two ways about it. So, I mean, that's just it's got to improve badly. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty shit start if we're actually looking at things from a defensive perspective, which is the area that needs drastic improvement. I mean, that, like, it's been pretty shit. The Hawks are shooting it lights out. And yet again, we haven't forced a turnover. So, like, a lot of the work we've had to do is in the half court, and that is not the team we are. That's not the team we are, especially with Ben out. You can't have any fast break transition opportunities if you can't fucking push the pace. You can't push the pace if you're not forcing misses and you're not, forcing turnovers, which is a huge part of that. So 21-20 at the moment. It is not ideal in the defensive department. I guess it's good offensively, but for a team this good, you can only say so much about JV, about the scheme. That sort of stuff right there, like that possession just gone, is that incredibly, like, that's got to really, it's got to hurt. It's like, that's a player issue. That comes down to sorting yourself out on the court and being incredibly reactive to what's going on. If it takes 5 seconds for the Hawks to bring it up after a Nets miss, you've got to be more alert than that. You got to be glued, and there's got to be a lot more communication, because like that Bogdanovic 3 does not happen if you're well and truly switched on and when the defense is required. Dinwiddie, after the timeout, will shoot a step back two. I cannot imagine that was the drawn up play out of the timeout. There's no way. I refuse to believe it. Murray to Capella. Backdoor cut for Hunter. It's a block by Sharp. Nope, they've called a foul. Very, very late call. Let's have a look. I mean, he probably got him on the arm there. Let's just have a look. Potentially at the end there. So that's got to hurt as well, because we just forced the miss. we just forced the miss. We were ready to, break out and do that fast break work again. Finney Smith has gone to the bench. O'Neal checks in. Hunter makes both. The really important thing about today, if we can force the turnovers, we're forcing the Hawks to run. On the second night of a back-to-back, you tire them out. And they're going to be shooting those longer shots because they're a little bit more lazy and don't really want to carry the basketball a distance. Dinwiddie's got 4 to shoot. He drives. and he lost the ball. Bridges ended up shooting a mid-range. He missed it. Dayron got the offensive board, and he's just passed it to Dejounte Murray, who read it and missed the layup. Rebound by Dinwiddie. So, my goodness, it's a bit all over the place. O'Neal relocates for a three, does the traditional pump fake, nearly turned it over after trying to force a pass, but we'll slow it down with 9 to shoot. Dinwiddie takes on Hunter. There's the bump, and he got it to go +1. About time. Why does it do that? About fucking time. So, he's been good. He's been really important. Dayron's gone to the bench. And into the game is Claxton. Lonnie Walker also checks in for the first time, replacing CJ. Free throw is made by Dinwiddie, converts the and one. All right. Dejounte. Oh, ouch. Claxton also got hit. Okongwu had to have gotten winded. He's just fallen flat on his back. They've called a foul. Let's have a look. See, that sort of thing, even though there was contact there, they've only called the whistle because he's fallen forcefully. That is a very hard hit, though. So 23 apiece. About 5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. High-scoring match thus far. Very entertaining. Okongwu to Murray. The screen is set. He gets into the paint. The kick out to Hunter. Who on earth is defending him there? Like, one pass away, you're forcing such an open look, or allowing such an open look. O'Neal, cross-court feed to Walker, gets in the paint, back out to Bridges. The drive, picks up his dribble. The turnaround fade is good, and he gets the Nets back in front in this first quarter. 4:20 to play. Skillful score there by Bridges. Murray, the pass to Okongwu, and the flip is good. There's been a lot of opportunities for the Nets to really get in those passing lanes. Claxton's been hit with an offensive foul. 2 personals for Clax in this first quarter. That is such a stupid foul to commit. I don't know why you would do that. So the Hawks just get an easy extra possession because of a bit of ineptitude on that screen. Bogdanovic is going to find Hunter on the baseline. He's going to shoot a turnaround two. We got to get the rebound there, and we do. And it was O'Neal who ended up with full possession of the ball. Claxton remains in on 2 personals. Walker maneuvers into the paint. Couldn't get the shot to go. Hunter in transition. The Hawks had the numbers. Sorry, the Nets had the numbers, but that was an easy blow-by. Like, far out. That is just a joke, man. With the numbers, you got to close the outlet off. Dinwiddie to O'Neal, into the paint, just passes it. Like, look at that. Murray is very, very reactive to every pass we do because every pass is, like, predictable. We're running in the direction that we're passing the ball to. There's no, like, angles about it. It's all very linear and straight. So Claxton to Walker. Into the paint, and he just got it knocked away by Saddiq Bey, who's in the game. He's going to drive it. And that's a foul +1. That's the second time in a row we have had a 2-on-1 under the basket and the one has prevailed. Oh, for fuck's sake. And that's what turnovers do as well. We've got Royce O'Neal as the last line of defense. That's just like, someone has got to just put their body in harm's way, because they're just getting a runway to the basket every single time. The momentum isn't being slowed before they get to the basket. It's putting them at a severe advantage. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie's now got Trae Young picking him up on the perimeter. That has to be one that gets exploited. Dinwiddie shoots a 3 and he fucking airballed it. Saved by Claxton. Bridges back out to Dinwiddie. He shoots it again and he missed it again. Drive it, bro. You have a 6'1" guard picking you up. Young into the paint. O'Neal reads the pass, so we get a turnover forced. O'Neal just lost the fucking ball. It was a 2-on-1. Young for 3's open. It's good. And that really sums up the first quarter. 10-0 run for the Hawks. Dinwiddie to the corner for Walker. He is open. That was a good find, but the shot was off. The Hawks couldn't get a rebound. Claxton just lost his footing. Had the chair taken out from under him, and I think it's a turnover. Fuck me. That is ridiculous. That really sums up the quarter, because Claxton had Trae Young on him. Under the basket. It was a good find by Dinwiddie. The one time he does a good thing. Like, the Hawks score in transition when we have 2 under the basket and they've got 1. When we have 2 under the basket and they've got 1 on the offensive side of the ball for us, that's another 3 for Saddiq Bey. Fuck me. 36 points already for the Hawks in the first quarter. What was I going to say? Like, a 2-on-1, we have the numbers on defense. We can't get a stop. We have the numbers on a fast break transition possession. 2-on-1. One Hawks defender. Somehow the Hawks defender prevails. It's like, we cannot take advantage of any situation humanly possible, and with the team we've got, it should be a lot easier than it looks right now. It just looks like they are facing an uphill climb every time they have to play defense, or even when they play offense, to be quite honest. It's just, I actually can't fathom how it's so difficult for this team to play defense, dude. Fucking hell. This team needs to have some continuity of playing together so they can build chemistry together. All this chopping and changing causes confusion between the players. It stops cohesion. I mean, like, it's just, I honestly don't think any set of players we have, except maybe the starters, have been convincing today. I mean, that's probably how it should be, but like, defensively, nothing. Between the starters, the bench, the third stringers, they're all playing the same defense. It's a joke. Defensively, we got to roughen them up. Like, it's just ridiculous how easy everything has been for them. Walker to O'Neal, that is another 3, and that's off. But Claxton gets a rebound because he had the size there and the position. Walker! Oh! Oh! The pirouette, the hang time, and the score off the window. That was absolutely ridiculous. How we have this guy on the vet minimum is just something that I continue to be baffled by. He absolutely had Bogdanovic in a blender. Walker converted, but he could not convert the and one opportunity. So, wow, the Hawks have 11 fast break points. We do not have any. Oh my God. How open are you going to make Trae Young? Scoring threes from like 5 to 10 feet behind the line, and there's absolutely, like, there's no pressure, no defensive intensity. O'Neal wing 3 is off, and a rebound for Bey. That was an open look, but it's Royce O'Neal, so I mean, what do we expect? Bogdanovic to Okongwu, back to Bogdanovic, into the paint, And that's another open look, but he was short on the runner and a rebound by Watford. So we need to capitalize on these sorts of possessions. O'Neal, the no-look to Claxton under the basket, and we score for 2 with 48 seconds to play in this opening quarter. 39-29 the score. Defense has been shit, but there's an opportunity to redeem yourself if you can close out the quarter and not concede. Although Trae Young says absolutely not on my watch. He scores another three-pointer. Mikal Bridges is the guy picking him up. And that was yet again far too easy. Bridges is fouled, clearly, and that's going to be 2 shots. But this is unacceptable, man. The Hawks are on the second night of a back-to-back, and we've shipped off 42 points in the opening quarter. We should be the guys that are setting the precedent early. The Hawks are absolutely toying with us at the moment. At quarter time, I'm not looking forward to seeing what the box score numbers have to say about this defensive showing. Like, this continues to baffle me. And the more baffling thing is the Hawks have barely been at the free throw line. They've had a free throw on the back of a defensive 3-second call. But, like, that aside, I think it's been and ones, really. Or maybe there was one trip where it was a little bit of a different story, but 42 points conceded with a team of Claxton, Bridges, O'Neal, and Watford's also out there. So it's not like there should be any defensive liability. That's another 3 for Trae Young. Bro, it's the same. It was the same with Maxey the other night as well. Watford drives, he got by the defender, and the layup is off. Claxton could not get the offensive rebound, but there was a foul with 3 seconds to play. And it would have been on Watford, I do feel. Like, bro, Mikal doesn't fight through the screen. Claxton doesn't come up because he's playing drop coverage. And Trae Young is an open look. Maxey had about 3 plays identical to that the other day, and he punished on every single one of them. It was actually Claxton who received the benefit of a whistle. It must have been on that rebound. 45 points. 45. And they have a potential to score more. I guarantee you right now, they're going to give the ball to Trae Young. He's going to pull up from half court and he's going to make the 3. And you already know that I've just spoken that into existence. Here we go. So Claxton makes both, which is an improvement. Because a lot of the time last season he couldn't do that. Here he is, Trae Young. He's going to pull up for 3. And he nearly got it to go. Nearly. It rattled out. He had 3 defenders on him. I mean, if that went in, that really just would have summarized that things aren't supposed to go our way. Box score check. Look at the state of play here. The Hawks have scored 45. They've hit 9 3-pointers. They are 60% on those 9 3-pointers, and they are shooting 61% overall. Gotten to the free throw line, have only had the 1 turnover. Like, look at the shooting. Trae Young's got 19 points, 18 of those from 3. He's only missed 1 of his 7. The only possible silver lining is the fact that we let DeAndre Hunter take 6 shots and Dejounte Murray take only 4. And defended those 2 well. The problem is Trae Young is like tearing us apart already. There's got to be like a response to that. There's got to be an adjustment being made. Like, possibly put the switch defense back on. It's just not going to work. Like, you got to try something different. The good thing is Mikal Bridges does have 9 points. The bad thing is he's basically, well, he was on the entire first quarter. And we barely made any inroads. In fact, we find ourselves in a bit of a hole right now. Dinwiddie scored 9 as well, but a couple questionable bits of shot selection. Cam Johnson had 6. Usually Cam Johnson's playing the entire first quarter and Bridges is on the bench earlier. But we're seeing a bit of a different minute allocation here. We're not even, like, from 3, we're not shooting it badly. From the field, it's a little bit lesser so, but we've gotten to the line 9 times, which is a very good sign. You know, given we were talking about how pre-game we just can't get to the free throw line. So getting 9 is good, but, you know, it's about keeping that up. 5 offensive rebounds is strong also. But yet again, the 5 turnovers. The 5 turnovers are problematic. And the fast break points, I mean, I don't think we've had one fast break score yet. And the Hawks have scored about 11 or 12, and that's the difference in this game right now. The turnovers we're unable to create. Oh, yeah, well, we've scored 2 points on the break. The Hawks have scored 11. So, like, this is what happens when you can only force 1 turnover in a quarter. Like, fucking hell. Like, you've got to read the lanes. You've got to trap the Hawks in difficult positions to execute passes from. They've just gotten everything they've wanted. They've been able to get it to their primary ball handler way too easily. There's been no pressure on him when he's trying to shoot the ball. It's just, like, difficult to fathom. Really difficult to fathom. There's a travel on Johnson, so already there's a turnover for the Hawks. I guess that's something you can extract. But it's now going to be about capitalizing on this because, you know, it's one thing to force the turnover, but given that was from it's like a dead ball turnover, like, now we've got to work in the half court. Dinwiddie gets to the basket. He could not capitalize on that mismatch he had with regards to size. I mean, it was his direct matchup in Trae Young. He couldn't get it to go. So a well-concerted effort by the Hawks there to help Trae Young out. Young kicks it out to Bay in the corner, and he got right by O'Neal. That is an incredible score. The wraparound was able to flip it up and in. He scored for 2, +1 for Bay. But, like, O'Neal in the corner, once again, just gets by him way too easily. O'Neal is a fucking traffic cone on the perimeter. He cannot defend on the outside when he's, like, that was a wing that got by him. And O'Neal is smaller. He's like 6'4". Bro, they need to send O'Neal to the bench and just bring Watford in and play that 4 position. Seriously. Does my head in. Walker's open in the corner for 3, and he knocks it down. That was a bit of a defensive breakdown if you're the Hawks. And I can't imagine Quinn Snyder would be too happy with that one. Oh my god. A backdoor cut allowed. A Kongwu. The scoop. That's also good. That's just a simple drive, kick it out, get by the closeout, score the 2. It's really that simple for them. Oh my god. Another near turnover. The Hawks have just been so much better defensively. Fucking hell. It's ridiculous how easy it's been. Fucking hell. 50 points already conceded at the 10:45 mark of the second. Good dump pass by CJ. And it was a bit of a no-look. Nice two-handed throwdown by Dayron. 38-50. Hawks lead. That's a switch. Dayron reads the pass. That's good. And now we need to absolutely capitalize on the break. Oh my god, Royce. Dinwiddie's got a 3 top of the key. He missed it. We had the outnumber and O'Neal held up the possession. He could have driven it, forced the defender to contest that, and then free up a defender, free up an offensive player on the weak side. O'Neal with the steal. Knocked it away from Okongwu after he went up. Let's see what he does on the break here. Walker for 3. It rims out. O'Neal wasn't strong with the hands. And a rebound for the Hawks after they knocked it away. Bogdanovic the 3. It did a full 360 twice. And rimmed out. Cross-court pass. Walker into the paint. He's going to roll it back out. Bogdanovic overcommitted. Johnson tried the scoop. It's off. But Dayron with the putback too. Far out. Mates. Come on, lads. Gotten a few stops here in the last couple of possessions. Trae Young into the paint. That was fancy. Oh my fucking god, dude. Dinwiddie had the position. Okongwu somehow ended up with the offensive rebound, and once he got the board, we were screwed. He's got the size. Walker corner 3 is good. Dinwiddie with the dime. Guess you could say Dimewitty. And the lead's back into single digits for the Hawks. Got to get stops. We're starting to get a few steals here. Bogdanovic, good defense. Oh my fucking God. The proactivity. We forced another miss, but they get another offensive rebound. Dinwiddie, the reverse is good. Good protection. Using the body to be able to scoop that one up and in on the reverse. Nets are scoring now in abundance, but we cannot get stops. Well, we are starting to force misses, but the rebounds. Here's another offensive rebound. Okongwu recycles, and Bay stood on the sideline. So we force another turnover, but like the amount of times we have had the opportunity to break out in transition, be a bit more assertive, and you got players like Royce O'Neal not fucking driving it, exploiting a simple 2-on-1. I think O'Neal is like 24% from the field inside the three-point line. It's absolutely atrocious. He's shooting about 34.5% on the season. Percentage-wise, he's 38% from three. So what's that saying about his field goal percentage inside the three-point line? It's disgusting. Johnson for three. He had the space, and it somehow rimmed in. And we have a timeout. So the lead is cut down to half a dozen. 54-48. Can you believe it? We're only 16 minutes into this game. It's ridiculous. Shot after shot being made. Let's have a look. Wow, we've got a lot of chat messages. Let me have a look. How long before Clax requests a trade? He's wasting his time with us. Our squad is actively making him a worse player. We need a coach. Well, I mean, yeah, he can't really make up his mind. He can't be the one making the decisions. It's ultimately going to have to be, it's going to be his, like, he's got no leverage in this. I don't think he's going to request a trade. I think if anything, he'll get traded before any of that happens. But, like, yeah, defensively, this team's got, like, a very high ceiling defensively, and they just have not found it yet. Like, there's just no intensity on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think that's entirely a coaching issue, because ultimately the players have to execute on the plan. Is the plan actually thorough? I don't know. Probably not. The Nets have done well to claw their way back into this game. Dinwiddie's the high man with 11. The threes are starting to fall now. We've already had 9 offensive rebounds, and we've already got 12 assists. The turnovers have gone down. Excuse me, the Hawks. Well, they've got 19 from Trae Young, but outside of that, it's been a little bit more difficult to find a bit of scoring. That being said, the bench has done a pretty good job. Their shooting percentages have gone down a bit since quarter time. They haven't made a three. Their offensive rebounding's pretty good, but we still beat them on the boards, or are beating them on the boards. The turnover number is the big thing. That has gone up. We have forced 4 turnovers for the Hawks in this quarter already. So, yeah, that's a positive. A very good positive. So we just need to continue this really positive trend that we've been witnessing in the second quarter. So right. Okay. So play's going to resume through the Hawks. It's Murray to Bogdanovic on the wing. Okongwu faked the handoff. Oh, Dayron did well to meet Okongwu at the rim. He got denied by the rim, but does that count as a block? I don't think so. Regardless, a stop. Dinwiddie across to O'Neal. Corner for Johnson. He's going to put the ball on the floor and shoot the mid-range. It was open, and he knocked it down. So CJ has been on the ball from the field. He's 4 of 5 or 4 of 6. He's hit 3 threes in the game thus far. Hunter on the perimeter to Bogdanovic on the wing. Drive and kick to Murray. This is better defense. And are you kidding me? A second 3-second call. The Nets are arguing the point, and it looks like someone was a little bit irresponsible and didn't remove their foot from the paint. So Bogdanovic at the free throw line to convert the tech. And he gets it to go. He gets the lucky bounce. It's a 5-point game. Even despite our shit defense, the offense has well and truly been firing. The Hawks not nearly shooting it at the same rate as they were in the first. They scored 45, and in the 4.5 minutes, or nearly 5 minutes of the second, only 10 points. So, I mean, that's probably saying tons about how the defensive intensity has lifted. Looks like we're playing a bit of switch here. Johnson is still open, though, and the 3 is good. I don't know what Spencer is doing on the weak side. He is just... That is so disappointing. So disappointing. Dinwiddie will take on Bogdanovic. The drive, that's a foul, and it's going to be 2 shots. He wasn't able to get the flip to go, but 2 shots nonetheless. That's a good sign. Like, yeah, what is Dinwiddie... Like, I'm just seeing the vision of the last possession where we gave the 3-way. What on earth is Spencer doing there? Like, that is just... He's just stuck in the paint, and he had just left someone open on the weak side, but a perfectly accessible player. It was 1 pass away. First free throw is good for Dinwiddie. Walker and O'Neal to the bench. I believe Finney-Smith would return with that. And Bogdanovic is 3 personals, so we've sat him down. The lead is down a half a dozen. So we've fought back into this game quite well. But, I mean, we have to continue this shit. Claxton blocks Murray on the perimeter and then was able to save it. So a block and then a big time play there. Bridges into the paint. Alley-oop! Oh, wow, that is an incredible block by Johnson. 1-man offense. Blew the layup. Rebound, Cam Johnson. Bridges, 3. That is poor offense, man. We had to wait there. I think we just had to slow the tempo down a little bit. Let the numbers arrive. Oh, there you go. That's just too easy. That's an incredibly good pass by Johnson. He finds a Kongwu, and the alley-oop finish was superb. Dinwiddie to Johnson. Back out to Dinwiddie. The 3 is short. Claxton with the board, and then he just passed it away. That has to be a foul. Thank you. Bridges got hit there. Dejounte was ready to swoop, and he was well on his way to an easy fast break too. But what we're seeing in this quarter is that the switch defense is working far better. Far better than whatever drop coverage we were playing. The 5 on the floor for the Nets, as it stands, is a much taller lineup. I believe Dinwiddie's gone to the bench for Watford, who's probably going to handle the facilitation duties. That's a move that I'm actually a fan of. But this team should be well equipped. What is Mikal doing? Mikal's just going to get checked on. Probably for, like, his lip or his nose, or just to stop any bleeds. But this team has improved drastically in this second quarter, you know, defensively. And that's why we're in touch in this quarter. And it's good to see. It's really good to see. Yeah, Dejounte's just swatted Bridges in the face square. So if they didn't call that, I was ready to just call it a day, walk out, never return. So, 60 to 52. It's been a very entertaining match. I mean, if you're a fan of offense, this is the game for you. I mean, 45 points for the Hawks in the first quarter. The Nets have done well to fight back. They are within 8. Watford on the perimeter gives it to Bridges. The screen set, another screen set. Bridges shoots at the elbow, and that is good. So that is a regulation 2-point jumper for Mikal. And the lead's back down to 6. A switch, and now Finney-Smith back on Murray. Trae Young. Oh my God, that is a deep 3. That one's off. So has he perhaps cooled off? We don't know. Watford out to Bridges, baseline. Kick out to Johnson. It wasn't a good pass, so it's just held everything up. And we're going to have to just slow the tempo down a bit. Watford rhythm 3. Basically airballed it. So I guess I'm happy he took it, but Hunter is wide open in transition. And that's just another case of your players just having to wake up, man. Wake up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Another foul? I believe... Oh my God. That is... I mean, I don't really understand the illegal screen a lot beyond the basics, but that is ridiculous. And that is also equally ridiculous. A Dejounte Murray 3 over the top of Finney-Smith, like he wasn't even there. Watford into the paint. The layup is off. The putback tip by Claxton. And let's get these stops, shall we? Because we're being much better defensively in the second, but it would be a letdown if we just let him go on a 9-0 run on the back of just some defensive breakdown. Murray in a switch, trying to shake off Claxton. Good defense by Clax, and he forces the miss on Murray. I mean, quite frankly, Claxton is an excellent perimeter defender. It's a bit stupid that we haven't been using him that way nearly enough. Bridges, open on the baseline. It was a good relocation, and the Hawks were a little bit lost. They never really got set defensively, and that unpredictability of that off-ball movement by Bridges really enabled us to get that score there. So a timeout called by the Hawks at 66-58 with about 3.5 to play in the first half. And the Nets are still hanging around, even despite their really poor showing in the first quarter defensively. Mikal's got 13, 4, and 2, as you can see there. But in the first quarter, the first half last game, we saw some really good contributions in the first half by Mikal. But that wasn't replicated in the second half. He took one shot. So it's one thing to, play a good half, but you got to play a full game. We've had 3 scorers in double figures, which is a really good sign. 13 each to Bridges and Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie hasn't really been that reliable shooting the ball, but he's done a bit of facilitating, which is a positive. Claxton and Sharp have combined for 8 offensive rebounds, so that is a huge plus. The second chance points are going to be interesting, though, because as we said, pre-game second chance points isn't one of our strong suits. So we can get all these offensive rebounds, but if we can't use them to its full potential, then it's going to be completely pointless, and we're really wasting that advantage of the game away. Cam Johnson's been really good. A couple games ago, we talked about how we lost to the Heat by 7. But Cam Johnson was like a plus 18 in his 27 minutes. So he's been a plus today. In a game down 8, he's one of the only players in the plus. So that is a plus. And then off the bench, I mean, O'Neal, just like, seriously, I mean, he's only a -3 in the plus minus, but my God, what has he really done? Had a few good defensive moments, but as is the Royce O'Neal experience, he does a lot of good, and then he cancels that out by doing something completely idiotic. That is the box score for the Hawks. The good thing is Trae Young has not scored a point in this second quarter, and Dejounte Murray has only scored a 3. So the Hawks have cooled off to an extent. They are still shooting the ball well above 50%, as you would expect. 66 points in not even a half of basketball is, that's always going to result in some really good strengths offensively, finding some good looks, breaking out in transition. But the Nets have slowly brought things back in this quarter, forced a few more turnovers, defensively looked a lot more switched on. And that's why we've had the advantage in the second quarter. It's gone from a 12-point deficit to 8. I would say it's probably a pretty fair assessment of the second quarter if we, outscore them by 4 points. Oh my God, are you fucking kidding? This is the downside of having Claxton in, picking up Capella on the defensive side of the ball. He's got to box that guy out, and Capella is a serial offensive rebounder, and we saw it right there. Johnson pick and pop. It is off. It didn't have enough power on it, and that's an incredibly soft foul to concede at the 3-minute mark. Now, this is an incredibly important part of the game. Close out the first half strongly. Because we know the last 2 games, both oppositions, the difference in the game has been that run of momentum they get going into the halftime break. Murray catch and shoot 3. He's fouled him. I cannot believe that. Let's have a look. Yeah, that is such a dumb foul, Mikal. Mikal really could have milked it to try get the offensive foul there. Because Murray sort of kicked his leg up right into, where it's not so nice. So 2 free throws taken quickly by Murray, and he converts both. So even though defensively we've lifted, a make here would mean we've actually been outscored in the quarter, which is a little bit baffling to think. All 3 made. Watford closing out the half, which is, this is a good thing because Watford is a good player. He deserves more rotational minutes. Oh my God! Oh! He sent 2 Hawks to another dimension with the faked handoff and was able to throw it down with the defense caught well and truly off guard. Good defense by Trae, or on Trae by Clax, forced the miss and we got the rebound. Watford into the paint. The push shot is off, and that's one that he usually would score as regulation. Murray gets by Bridges. The shot on the baseline is off. Get the rebound. Of course we didn't. And we're going to give up a 3. I can already see it. Here it is. And it is off. That's surprising. Watford. Oh my God. What are we doing? That was so scary. Bringing the ball up. But we get a 3 from it. It was very much nearly a steal. Watford just threw it right into harm's way, and the Hawks defender, I don't know who it was, nearly picked off the pass. But we were very lucky to benefit from an overcommit. Trae Young's open for 3, and he's short. We don't get the long rebound. Once again, Atlanta will go, and Hunter is short on a 3. We can go on a late quarter run here. 10 offensive rebounds in the first half for the Nets. As much as it feels like we're being cooked in that regard, Watford finds Clax in the post. The hook shot is off. couldn't get the angle, and it was a decent look. But it would have been incredibly nice if we could have made inroads there. Murray can't get it to go. Once again, oh my fucking God, get the rebound. Another fucking rebound. This is ridiculous. We've got 60 seconds left. That's such a letdown because there's been so many possessions in this second quarter. We could have done some rim running if we could just box out adequately. But Capella's proving to be an issue under there. And even if he doesn't get the rebound himself, he's knocking it away so the Hawks can actually chase that one up. Like, he's beating out like 2 or 3 of ours. And obviously, if you can knock it out, the Hawks are going to have the numbers. So, the Hawks make both. And it's Claxton to Watford inbounding. Watford will hand it off to Johnson. Lost the ball, got it back. And then he threw it away again, as if he didn't learn from what he did about 3 seconds ago. Great rim running. It's easy for Capella. Fucking hell. Watford into the paint. He's blocked. Oh my God, please get the ball. Somehow we end up with it. Finney-Smith is open for 3. It's off. Rebound by Watford. Johnson finds Claxton under the basket, and it's good. That was frantic. But the Nets need a ton more of that. If you're going to give away a fuck ton of offensive rebounds, you got to get some of your own. And we did incredibly well to salvage something there. 10-point game. It'd be great if we can force a miss here. 3-second difference between shot and game. Trae Young is trapped. Bounce pass to Hunter, and he scores off the glass. So 6 seconds to... That has to be a foul. 6 seconds to take the ball up the length of the floor. And Mikal was met with the contact of Dejounte Murray. The passing has to be more pinpoint as well. Here we go. Bridges. Oh my God, he got blocked by Capella, but somehow was able to work things out. I mean, the gods were on his side, and he was able to score for 2. That's the half, and that's going to do it. Fucking hell, that was hectic. An incredibly hectic first half. Let's have a look at the box score. My goodness, that was crazy. So, we'll start with the Nets, and then we'll work our way down to the Hawks. You could just see for a minute there what is going on with the Hawks, though. 15 points for Mikal in the first half. Overall, I mean, we outscored him in that quarter, but, you know, we still conceded 32 points, and I don't think that was indicative of our second quarter defensive performance. It was a lot better. The problem is the rebounds that we're giving away on the offensive glass. That is a huge problem because, you know, we were forcing these misses, but the Hawks were still able to recycle and you know, score those 2-pointers under the basket. I mean, we talked about this pregame as well, like our inability when we get an offensive rebound to score under the basket and actually put it back. The Hawks have been making a living with those. That being said, 12 offensive rebounds for the Nets in the first half is a good return. And the turnovers were a little bit down from the first quarter, which also is a positive sign. The shooting isn't great. Wow, what the hell was going on there? The shooting isn't great. I mean, we were 1 of 6 from 3, like one of our last 6. The assist number's pretty decent, but I reckon I'd like to see a bit of improvement. Mikal Bridges has only taken 8 shots. I mean, he's gotten to the free throw line a bit, but I'd like to see him push 20 shots by the end of the game. He needs to be reaching 30. That is a minimum. For the second half, if we're to win this game, the Hawks have already scored 77 points. We need to only give away, or well, we need 30 from Bridges at least, bare minimum. Because I can see us, well, I mean, barring a ridiculous defensive performance, we're gonna concede 120 at least. So for us to win this, Mikal is gonna have to well and truly push 30, and we're gonna need a few other players pushing 20 as well. Spencer Dinwiddie at 13 in the half, and Cam Johnson at 11. You've got 8 from Clax, and you've got 8 from Walker. Those guys all need to be pushing at least 15. The ones that are already close to 15 need to be pushing 20, 25. But yeah, that's the real look at it from a Nets perspective. From a Hawks perspective, I mean, you'd be very happy with the half because you've gotten 3 double-digit scorers. You've gotten 3 players who are also very close to that mark as well. Trae Young did not score a point in that second quarter, which is a good sign, but the bad thing was that, you know, other players picked up the slack, and Dejounte Murray has not been great at all. Defensively, he's been decent, and facilitating-wise, he's also been decent. But shooting the ball, I mean, he hasn't been great. The fact they still scored 32 was a little bit annoying. DeAndre Hunter scored 12, and then off the bench, he had some good contributions from Sadiq Bey, Bogdanovic, Kongwu, those sort of guys. And overall, shooting the ball pretty well, but we did well to lower that number because it was at 60% from the field and from 3. The bad thing is the free throws. I mean, we're well on par with them, so there's not much differentiating the teams there. We've taken the same amount of shots as them, and two less threes attempted. They've made 3 more. So yeah, we've actually had more offensive rebounds, but it doesn't feel like we've been the team that have punished more on the offensive rebounds, if that makes sense. They've only had 5 turnovers, but they were at 1 at quarter time, so I guess that is also a plus. Let me mute this because the fucking Hawks halftime show is really doing my head in when all I'm hearing is screaming. Let me just go back to the thing. Where is it? There it is. We will just look at the team stats, and then we'll look at the chat and see your thoughts. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back in a couple of days' time for another Nets Heat game. It's actually doing my head in how many times we have to play the Heat. But we're playing them in 2 or 3 days, so I will see you for that one. Hopefully you can all rock up. But you can see, like, do they show second chance points? I don't think they do. But you can see, like, largest lead was 15, so we did well to sort of bring it within reach. The fast break points, man. Like, so from our 8 turnovers, there have been 14 points scored, and from our 5 turnovers we've created, we've only scored 5 points. That sort of embodies the fast break sort of situation. Like, when we turn the ball over, far more points are being conceded because we're just not... Like, I'll talk about what happened in the first quarter again. There was a play where we had 2 defenders under the basket and 1 Hawk was driving the ball. The Hawk scores the basket, right? And then a couple possessions later, we go the other way. We have a 2-on-1. A 2-on-1. And this has happened a couple times, actually. We have a 2-on-1. 1 Hawks defender. The Hawks defender prevails. Like, they get a stop, or we're in charge of our own demise, and we just roll it back out to the perimeter for no apparent reason when driving it to the lane, into the lane is an option. Points in the paint is actually pretty much on par. It's a 22-26, but, like, yeah, it's a really weird one. It really is a weird one. How we, like, if you say that Ben Simmons doesn't have an impact on this team, I present to you the fast break points. Because defensively, he's just a bigger presence, a bigger body, and his facilitation is pretty off the charts. All things considered. Whether he gets the assists or not, he pushes the tempo, and he brings that out of other players on the team. So, missing him is a big loss. I'm just going to check to see what the fast break points are looking like. Sorry, the second chance points. Here we go. Second chance points. 12-10. We actually have more second chance points. That's surprising. I guess we're probably getting it more 3-pointers than 2s. Yeah. So that is really the situation at the half. Let me know what your perspective is on the first half. We've shipped off 77 points to a team on the second night of their back-to-back, but in saying that, it was a good second quarter showing. Let's have a look. I just don't understand this coaching. Our coach just loves giving O'Neal the most minutes instead of Walker, Watford, or DFS. Here is my take on that. Just play Watford at the 4. I don't fucking get it. You're taking Dinwiddie off to play Watford, who can facilitate. Why not just do that with O'Neal on the bench and play Dinwiddie off the ball, where he can catch and shoot threes and make them? Sure, Dinwiddie's a good facilitator and he needs that usage. At the same time, you have Watford who can facilitate. Why not have more facilitators on your team? And have a bit more size out there. If you're going to play O'Neal, play him at the 3. That being said, he gets cooked on the perimeter by guards. He gets cooked on the perimeter by wings. The only guys he can seem to keep up with are centers. And obviously, he's undersized. He's 6'4". He can't play on centers. So what's his use? If he's not getting steals or blocks, he's gotten one of each today. But if he's not scoring the ball, what use is he? And in transition, he just fucks up the momentum as well. It's just ridiculous. JV is more a therapist than a coach, a thoroughly decent man, but not a leader. He's a good leader. I think it's actually the other way. Like, oh, well, he is a leader, but he's not... Is pragmatic the word? I think pragmatic is where you're, like, tactically good. Or maybe it's the other way around, where you're, like, building relationships. He's a better, like, relationship kind of coach. He's a good culture man. He knows how to rev a team up, but I don't think he knows how to execute. Like, I mean, to be fair, this squad is very difficult to navigate because of how many players are very level in terms of skill and capability, and like the amount of minutes they warrant. So a lot of coaches would see this roster as a challenge because there's so many players that can play. You know, so it's a bit of a tough one to, you know, allocate minutes. That being said, there has been enough of a sample size now to work out who's good and who's not. If I was playing as well as O'Neal on a basketball court, I would play 5 minutes. I wouldn't even be on an NBA roster. It's just like one of those situations where O'Neal is in the right one. And that's why he's getting all these minutes. I mean, yeah. How has O'Neal played more minutes than Clax? Bullshit, he has. Bullshit. If that is the case, I'm about to throw hands. 16 minutes. Okay, never mind. It was 16-11. But probably the time you sent the message, it would have been basically on par with one another. This defense, I can't even look at it because it's nowhere to be found. I was about to say the same thing, yeah. 100%. We aren't just missing Ben's pace, we're missing his intellect. Even the rebounding. Like, I remember there was that game where he had 15 rebounds against Milwaukee, I think. And even though, well, because he had scored 2 points, everyone was worrying about the 2 points and not the 15 rebounds. We could have done with a player like Ben today for rebounding purposes. Because, like, quite frankly, we are getting cooked on the glass, and it would be great to have an extra body in Ben, sitting under the basket, skying in for the rebound. You have Clax trying to box out. As long as you can negate him, Ben would be able to soar in for the rebound. And Cam's scoring as well. Cam's scoring, I don't think, is as much of an issue as we make it out to be. Defensively, he's actually been quality. And I'd rather have him on the floor than Dinwiddie. As crazy as that, well, last year we would not have said that. If I said last year Cam Thomas would be defending better than Spencer Dinwiddie, you would have called me crazy. But funnily enough, I actually think that Cam Thomas would be better defensively than Spencer. We've scored 67 points. And that's actually an incredibly good number, all things considered. Because if you look at how well the Hawks are shooting the ball, we've had to play more half-court offense because, with the score, your team can get back and, we've got to bring it up slower. But even in the half-court and only forcing 5 turnovers, we've still scored 67 points. That's a very good pace. Well, that's a pace to score 130. So, go figure. It's like we could have done with the Cam Thomas 30 piece, but do I think Cam Thomas is resolving the 77-point giveaway in the first half to the Hawks, who are playing on the second night of a back-to-back? I don't think so. I think that's more a Ben absence issue than anything else. I'm just going to turn on my fan because it's getting a little bit stuffy in here. Oh. But, yeah. Let me know your thoughts on that because I think it is... I think we're missing Ben more than we're missing Cam Thomas. And a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm so excited to get Cam Thomas back. And it would be great to have a player who can just score the ball when you find yourself in a rut. But as far as all those rebounds we're being giving away, the turnovers we can't create, the fast break points that we're lacking, Ben Simmons is the guy that rectifies the majority of those issues. And defensively allows you to have a bit of a better scheme because you've got bigger players, more physical players in there. So it's one of those things where, yeah, it's... Well, I don't know how long we're going to be missing Ben for, so we're going to need to compromise, but, it's going to be really interesting to see how this second half pans out, because... Hold on. We saw what... we saw what this team can do defensively in that second quarter. Even though it was, the shipping off of 30-something points. It's we had the chance to do a lot better. We didn't defend like a team that would concede 32 points. We gave away some free throws at times, which were stupid, like the Mikal closeout on the 3. I mean, it's just those fine margins. And there were a couple occasions where the rebounding, if we could get the rebound, we would have probably only conceded 24, 25 points. And then all of a sudden you're talking about a 1 or 2 possession game. So it's the fine margins. It's all in the fine margins. Before we begin this second half, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back for Nets versus Heat, the third of 4 matchups this season. That's going to be another good game because we've had some pretty good ones, so far this season. So, yeah. But we have returned after the break, and Bridges gets the steal, Euro, and he had to have been fouled by Murray there. We had a 2-on-1, and that was the perfect play to start the second half for the Nets. So, Bridges at the free throw line. Murray hit with the foul. Dejounte Murray, personally, is a player I would love to see on the Nets. But the Hawks wouldn't give him up. It's like a real sideways move for Dejounte. So, and in terms of what we'd have to give up, probably not worth it. The players you'd want to pair with Murray are probably the players you'd have to give up to get Murray. Mikal. He misses the second, so 1 of 2 at the line, but we are on the board first, and we got the stop. Claxton is guarding Trae on the perimeter. He shoots a step-back 3, and that's good. I mean, can't really stop that. It was actually toe on the line. Claxton got blocked by Capella, and Claxton was able to follow up his own miss and scored for 2 via a bit of fortune. But you like the little bit of aggression there. Good roll by Hunter. Good verticality by Finney-Smith. But an even better score by Hunter. So that's a strong take at the basket. Dinwiddie now will get a bit of touch and feel on the defender. Cam Johnson nearly shuffled his foot. Bridges the fadeaway three. He airballed it. Claxton got a rebound. Johnson was open, and the three is off. He got his own miss, ended up with Bridges, and he was able to score for two. He wanted the foul. He's not going to get it. It was a bit vocal with the official, but the Nets pick up where they left off in the offensive rebounding department. Johnson, good ball fake. Didn't get by Finney-Smith. It was a good contest, and the Nets go the other way with the numbers, and then Dinwiddie just threw it away. He had Finney-Smith cutting down the middle, didn't give it to him, and then Johnson was too hot on the pass, and they couldn't capitalize on the break. So the Nets will get it back, given a bit of a reprieve there. So that is, well, a bit of a letdown if you're a Hawks supporter. Bridges will get into the paint. He'll shoot the fadeaway too. He was short. The rebound by Johnson, and that is Jalen Johnson, by the way. Murray doesn't shoot the three. Hunter to Trae Young. And we once again are just giving him wide open threes from like 5 to 10 feet behind the line. Dinwiddie. Alley-oop. Oh! That was like a little... I don't even know what to call that. That was a perfect escort. So, Nets cut it to 7. Hunter into the paint. That's off. Claxton with the contest. That's working at the moment. Johnson will drive baseline. Layup is good. And the Hawks don't have answers early in this second half. The Nets are playing better defense on the back of playing a switch defense. Claxton is holding his own on the perimeter. He's staying with attackers when they drive it. And he's being there. He's being the presence we need. And we had missed for those first 8 games of the season. This guy needs to be utilized for what he's good at. And the perimeter defending is well and truly on show. For certain oppositions where you're dealing with bigs that will absolutely put you to the sword, you know, that's where you've got to, you've got to sort of, you got to think about things a little bit differently, because you're going to be killed for size under the basket, but they're not feeding Capella every possession. They've got Trae Young, they've got Murray, who are more gifted scorers. So, having Claxton as a mobile center guard those guys, it's a no-brainer. And it's good to see that is being executed. It's something that we thrived off last year for quite a portion of the season. You can see the scoring splits. Mikal has been in the spotlight today. I put him in the spotlight, and he has not scored 152 points. He scored 20. But he's been, well, very good, I would say. He's leading the way as we've needed him to. Claxton's got 12. So he's doing a pretty good job at being assertive. 6 offensive rebounds already. We've already had 15 in the game. 9 turnovers isn't great. But if we can keep it around maybe 3 turnovers, that'll be quality. It's the 3-pointers that haven't really gone up, but I'm happy for that to stay down if we keep looking for the right shots on the interior. So, yeah. And the Hawks aren't shooting it nearly as good as what they were early in the game. They were at 60% from the field, and from 3, they are now well under 50%. Or not well under, but it's looking more respectable, and the free throws have also not gone up. So, these are positives that we can draw upon. But, yeah. We're well and truly in this contest now, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a bit of a dogfight in the second half. It's going to be the team that can get more stops. When are Ben and Cam returning? We need them for the in-season game against Toronto. When is the in-season game? I think Cam could be back for that. Or it may be just before the timeline would suggest he's returning. But Ben is out indefinitely. I don't know how long that guy's going to be out for. Which obviously isn't a positive sign for, the jack of all trades type work he does. And how integral he is to our offense. But that being said, the offense hasn't looked very phased today. Finney-Smith picks up Johnson at the half-court line. Trae Young now in a switch. He's got Claxton picking him up on the perimeter. Finney-Smith will take on Capella under the basket. So we're going to need a concerted effort to box out. Trae Young tries to score over Clax. That is a joke of a foul. 1.5 seconds. That is a bailout of the highest order because Trae Young was trying this angle that absolutely was never on. Trae Young was incredibly physical there. You could have argued that he may have committed an offensive foul in there somewhere due to a push-off on a couple of occasions, trying to create that separation. Claxton was glued to him. However, we're just going to have to live with those 2 free throws being conceded, given away. It's a 7-point game. And, a 6-point game. Opportunity to make it 3 possessions with a make on the second. And it's good. So 9 minutes to play. It's been a very good start in this second half here. But you would have loved us to get that stop, get it into a single possession on this side of the ball. Dinwiddie the spin. He got the chair taken out from underneath. You could have argued that that was a pretty soft foul. Dinwiddie wanted the shot. And they're going to call it on the side. He had gathered the ball. When he fell, he had gathered the ball. How is that not a shooting foul? That's ridiculous. Oh, well. Nets will look for Bridges, but not get it there yet. Claxton puts the ball on the floor. Dinwiddie, 3 to shoot. He's going to have to put one up. He does. He missed it, but got his own miss, then missed the putback, then got it on the 3rd try. Bloody hell. So there's some second chance points. Trae Young, picked up by Bridges. The switch. Now Murray to the corner for Johnson. He's picked up by Finney-Smith. It's good defense. Good physicality. Johnson nearly fell over. Probably traveled. And then Johnson missed it. But the problem is that Claxton was on the perimeter and Bridges had to box out Capella under the basket. Oh my God. What the fuck happened there? Johnson with the read after we turned it over. Cross-court pass to Finney-Smith. Goes baseline. Blew the layup. And a rebound for the Hawks. Hunter to the wing for Murray. He drives. The layup is off. The putback is good. And Capella again is feasting. And once again, if you're going to switch and get Claxton, well, possibly guarding the ball carrier, it's always going to be, well, it's going to be tough. Because who the hell is on Capella? Backdoor cut by Bridges. Bounce pass to Clax. Bridges gets it back. Claxton's going to shoot a midi. And he knocks it down. Shoot more of them. So, 7-point game. Claxton makes his first proper field goal. One from the actual field. Finney-Smith is boxing out Capella. Great defense. Where are you looking, ref? That's clearly our ball. That had to be Nets' ball. Had to be Nets' ball. Yep, and it's been overturned. So, Claxton is putting on a defensive masterclass at the moment. Well and truly. This Claxton presence is proving pivotal in our defensive resurgence in the last quarter and a bit. Good pass by Dinwiddie and Claxton with the aggressive two-handed throwdown. He looks at the Nets bench and says, I'm all about it. And the lead is down to 5 again. 12 points in the quarter, so there's been an emphasis on getting it there. Murray, what is Dinwiddie doing? Absolutely napping defensively, but there is a miss on the perimeter by Dejounte, and we can cut the deficit down. I beg, it is a good look. Johnson, the mid-range. It was open. It's off. And the rebound ends up with the Nets. By fortune, Johnson second chance points. It's good from the perimeter. expect a timeout. And we're going to keep playing. So a 7-0 run. There are 3 Hawks players queuing at the scorer's table, ready to check in. But they're going to have to wait a little while longer. Murray to the corner for Hunter. He shoots the midi, blocked by Claxton, but he did hit Hunter on the arm. So it's going to be shots. That is so annoying because that was a look that I absolutely would give up. Hunter mid-ranges, I can't say have too much backing behind him. So, free throws coming up here for Hunter. I don't know if it was Johnson or Claxton picking up the foul. He makes the first one, and they really need to just... They need some calm about him, the Hawks. Bay, Bogdanovic, and Okongwu into the game. Dayron Sharp checks in for Claxton. And now it's going to get really interesting to see how many minutes we can buy with Claxton off the floor, having had such a big impact defensively. The second free throw is good by Hunter. So, the Nets, down 4. Dinwiddie will give it to Bridges. He's got a fair bit of offensive responsibility on his shoulders. The Hawks are playing zone. Bridges was a bit surprised by the amount of space he had, and he knocks down the midi. So, 89-87. The more we make this a dogfight, the better. Oh my God, Murray! Dude, how has this happened? How has this happened? It's off. Get the rebound. Bridges does. We can take the lead. Bridges to Johnson. He drives, gets by Hunter. The layup is off. It was halfway down. It's going to be 2 shots. But we're seeing some end-to-end play, and the more we can do this, start forcing misses, force them to run, we're going to tire this team out, the Hawks. We're going to tire the Hawks out. Second night of a back-to-back. Obviously, a very back-and-forth game last night. So, you know, the more we can force them to run and exert some energy, that's going to really put us in good stead down the stretch when, you know, teams have to make more shots and get more stops. Capella goes to the bench now. So, CJ to tie the game at 89 after we trailed by a grand total of 15. He ties it. 89 apiece. So, it's all arrived with the switch defense. Literally. Bogdanovic, back to Murray. Okongwu, back out to Bogdanovic. He's got 7 to shoot. We overcommitted, and Dejounte had the open 3. So that's on Bridges there. That's on Bridges there. So, they get that breathing space again. Dinwiddie thought about the 3 and the pass. He goes into the paint. Where's the foul? Dude. That's good defense by Dayron. He traps him, and Bridges got decked. We force the turnover, and the Nets have a 3-on-1. Dayron, layup. It's good. That is well worked by the Nets. You absolutely cannot screw that up. The Hawks up 1. Okongwu to Murray. Bridges knocked it away. Murray retains the screen by Okongwu. Pass on the perimeter. Bay, turnaround 2. It's off. Rebound somehow is on the Nets. Somehow. How... Bro, seriously, how was that not an offensive foul? I mean, we got the transition points, but Mikal just got decked off the ball with a simple shove by Okongwu. Turnovers are running rife for the Hawks. They have had 5 of those in the quarter. And this is just a complete turnaround from the first quarter where we couldn't force a miss and we couldn't get a steal. Dejounte into the paint. Picked up by Bridges. It's good defense. And he forces a miss. The Nets can take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Dinwiddie. Picked up by Sadiq Bey. High screen Sharp. Alley-oop. Oh, what? Dayron couldn't get it done. It's a 5-on-4. Bay for 3. Lines it up. It's off. But of course, Royce O'Neal gave up the offensive board. Bridges with the steal. So Mikal's coming up clutch in other ways. We feed Dayron in the post. The kick out to Doe. Right in front of the bench. It's off. Oh my God. That is the biggest flop I've ever seen in my life. Hunter looked like a pancake with that flop. And it's going to be O'Neal picking up the foul. Trae Young's going to return with Murray going to the bench. Johnson is back in. Dinwiddie will go to the bench. Hunter will go to the bench. So 5 on the floor for the Nets. Dinwiddie, Bridges, Sharp, Watford, O'Neal. So no Lonnie Walker. No Lonnie Walker in this game. Trae Young. Dayron knocks it away. Watford gets it ahead to O'Neal. Drive. Oh my God, this fucking tosser cannot shoot a layup for his life. He's going to get a 2 free throws. But my guy shot the worst layup attempt I've ever seen in my life. So Watford was there for the follow as well. O'Neal at the free throw line. The first is off, of course. Of course he misses the free throw. Of course he does. Because what can he do apart from do pump fakes and shoot threes? O'Neal to tie the game yet again at 92. Oh my God, this guy is shit. Misses both. We could have taken the lead, but O'Neal's ineptitude strikes again. They should make that a movie. Bogdanovic for 3. That is off. Rebound by Sharp. Strong take as well. Watford will drive on Johnson. Create the separation and score off the window. The Nets have the lead back. So that's the first lead since 25-23. We've come all the way back from a 15-point deficit. Trae Young, the cross, the 3. It's off. The rebound by O'Neal. Gets it ahead. What the fuck are you doing? Bro, I fucking hate this guy. He is the new James Johnson of this era. We're going to get a timeout, but man is throwing a pass to a 10-foot person that doesn't exist. Dude, just sends a full court pass out of bounds. Fucking idiot. Seriously, this guy is an absolute spud. I hate the guy. Every mistake he makes, I'm on his case, but I don't care. I do not care one bit. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well if you're new. We'll be back the Nets Heat in a few days, and there is a donation button as well, so if you're enjoying the coverage and you want to support it in another way, you can do so through a small donation. Obviously not an obligation. The box score. Well, this is an interesting viewing experience, the box score. We lead by 1. And look, if I had have said that in the first quarter when we were shipping off 45 points, you would have called me crazy. But, you know, things can change. And well, a lot has changed in this game. For starters, we're forcing turnovers. You can see that voice crack was disgusting. Remind me to never have cereal again before stream. Turnovers for us are still up, but the steal number is well and truly up. We had like 3 steals at the half. We've had 4 in a quarter. It's great. Mikal's got 20, but the contributions are coming from all over the floor. Clax is 16. It's a pity that he's had to go to the bench on 4 personals because he's had an excellent game today. Dinwiddie has not shot the ball well, but he is doing a very good job of facilitating in this second half especially. Cam Johnson's had a great game with 18. So the efficiency is really strong in the starting lineup, so that's what we need. And we've had 18 offensive rebounds. That is huge, a huge number, and we've got a quarter to play. For the Hawks, they've also had a ton of offensive rebounds, so they're hanging around in that respect. The turnover number for them has gone up. You know, we were talking about us having 4 more turnovers in the 4 more turnovers in the first quarter where we couldn't even force one. Last 2 quarters, we're forced like 10. And that's been essential to get back into the game. I mean, you talk about, well, we conceded 45 in the first quarter. In the last 2 quarters, we've conceded 47. So where's that arisen from? Well, the scheme's changed entirely. We're no longer playing drop. We're playing basically switch on every possession, especially with Clax on the court. There's been good help defense when required. The closeouts have been much better. We've remained attached to our assignments. That has all been key in getting this lead well and truly down for the Hawks. Here's Young. Oh, that's an incredibly shit layup. How has Okongwu gotten that? You have 4 players under the basket, and their one has prevailed. We had Watford, Sharp, O'Neal, and I think Finney-Smith as well. So it's not like you're lacking size. That's incredibly poor. In a game where we have 18 offensive rebounds, we should be far more punishing. Far more punishing. We've given way too many away. Finney-Smith with the tip in. It's good. After the miss. Or maybe it was Dayron. I couldn't see. I was a bit impeded with the view. Bogdanovic, touch and feel. That could have been a foul, but it's good on the baseline anyway. A 1-point lead for the Hawks again. We could have both teams on 100 going into the final quarter. Bridges. Oh my God, it's just ricocheted off his leg. It's now a fast break for the Hawks. It's a 3-on-1. Johnson, the nice little 2 over the top of Watford. And it's back up to 3. So that is how shit we are on, or when we commit a turnover. O'Neal, pump fake. The typical pump fake. Bridges had it knocked away. He's going to face up Bay. That's a really interesting pass. O'Neal with the pump fake. What's he doing? Watford the body bump. And I guarantee he travelled. Yep. So another turnover. And here we go. This is where you have to close out the quarter strongly. Have to. These 2 turnovers, the last 2 possessions, are giving the Hawks this handy little lead going into the last quarter. Trae Young's going to slow things right down. He's picked up by Finney-Smith. He drives, and that's an incredibly good dime. Easy roll, and I mean, Finney-Smith and Dayron were well and truly attached to Trae Young, so that left an open man as the roller. Okongwu was there to finish the job. Hawks crack 100. Watford. Bridges the cut, and he's just fumbled the ball again. What are we doing, man? Bay to Bogdanovic. He's got 4 to shoot. He drives on Finney-Smith. Okongwu's open. It's off. And I can live with that. That is, well, not what you really want if you're the Hawks. We go into 3/4 time down 5. We did well to get back into it, but we didn't close out the quarter the way we wanted to. So if that doesn't embody the importance of not turning the ball over, then I don't know what does. We'll go back to the box score check. The Hawks have cracked 100 points, but you can see their percentages well down. An absolutely contrasting picture to what we saw in the first half. Only the 4 free throws in that quarter. They were shooting at 60% from the field and from 3. Even though they've scored 100 points, you know, they're shooting the ball like shit now. Or not shit. They're shooting it at basically league average, which is an incredible fight back. Good resilience by this Nets team. The turnovers have piled up for them. It's the offensive rebounds, though. We've given away 6 to Capella, 3 to Hunter, and 3 to Okongwu. Those guys are going to have a pretty big role to play down the stretch for them. They've had a lot of good scoring contributions, but I'm hoping the fact that we have a little bit more fuel, given we did not play last night and they did, I'm hoping that is the advantage we're going to get down the stretch. Offensive rebounding has been excellent today. It's a pity that we've given up so many, because if we'd given away maybe even like 6 or 7 offensive boards to this point, you know, we would have had the lead. Instead, Well, we've had 14 turnovers. We had about 6 in the quarter. Not a good number at all. That's got to go down in the second half. Bridges lost the ball on a couple of occasions by a shit pass, by the way. It was just a bit out of his reach. But overall, I mean, it's been a good, well-concerted effort by this team to get back into the game, and it's been on the back of defense. I do not want to see O'Neal play more than fucking 18 minutes. He's got to go to the bench at maybe the 9-minute mark. Because, yeah, it's just like, yeah. Bridges has only taken 13 shots as well. That is a red flag because he had, I think... Oh, no, he had 8 in the first half. So it's probably not as bad as I'm envisioning it to be. Cam Johnson's been really efficient today. I want to see him get as many buckets as he possibly can. But here we go. Last quarter. If you are enjoying, make sure to show your support in more ways than one and subscribe to the show if you are new and you want to stay tuned for more watch parties. They come thick and fast. Next one will be in a couple of days' time. Dinwiddie looking for Walker, who's checked in for his first action of the second half. Dinwiddie goes baseline and... Oh my fucking God. So, I swear Dinwiddie was fouled on the way up, but then he's actually been hit with the foul for knocking it out of Johnson's hands. I think that was legal. No. Oh, very soft. He got it clean on the second bite, but it was just a bit prior to that. And then Johnson is hit with the travel, and it will be a turnover for the Hawks, and the Nets will be able to, well, commence things like they did about 29 seconds ago when the quarter began. This game is neck and neck. Both teams have made the same amount of field goals. Nets have taken one more. Walker, Dinwiddie, drive. Good shit by Johnson, but Dinwiddie was able to score. Far out. That's an incredibly good bit of resilience there. Bogdanovic misses on the 3, and Claxton is starting this second iteration of the second half. Claxton, high off the window! What an angle! And I thought that, well, Royce O'Neal sure as hell can't do that. I think that's why I was incredibly surprised by it. Oh no, Trae Young for 3 is open. He's well and truly short on that. Watford was looking for a full court pass. He's still going to do it. He finds Claxton. Spin move! And the rim grazer! Let's go! Claxton has been so good today. So good in the second half. With the lift in defensive intensity, it's really brought something out of him. Bro, O'Neal is fucking trash. He is so fucking bad. So bad. This is the Nets experience in a nutshell. I talk about one good player, and then you just have a steaming pile of shit defending and just letting us down on the opposing end of the ball. So free throws for Bay, or sorry, a free throw for Bay because O'Neal gave up the and one. Because he just cannot stay with his direct matchup. Dinwiddie into the paint again. Back out to O'Neal. The corner for Walker. Gets to his spot in the mid-range. And he doesn't get the bounce. So a rebound for the Hawks. Opportunity to send it to a 2-possession game. Young cross-court for Bay. And now Bogdanovic on the wing. Picked up by Walker. Screen set. The switch. Claxton is there. And, bro, there is absolutely nothing you can do about that. That is an incredibly tough bit of shot creation there by Bogdanovic right in front of the Hawks bench. So they were probably spurring him on a little bit. Dinwiddie, high screen, into the paint. Shot, got it to go, +1. Thank you. And Spencer being assertive. I like this. So, free throw coming up for Spencer Dinwiddie. And he's been pretty good at this in this game. Gets him on the back shoulder. And is able to, initiate that contact. So, I want O'Neal on the bench in the next 2 minutes. If I don't see him on the bench in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to have an absolute... Well, I'm going to have a bone to pick with Shavy. Trae Young goes baseline. Lost the ball. Got it back. Bogdanovic catch and shoot 3. It's off. Rebound Watford. He's going to push the pace. And he just slipped over, but somehow regained his feet abnormally quickly. And the Dinwiddie chuck-up was off. He's got to not shoot the 3. He made his first 2. He has not scored since. Bay tried to respond, and he couldn't score either. So the Nets can take the lead. I like what Watford's doing here. He's sort of playing that Ben role by pushing the pace. Except he's shooting 3s, and he's hitting the 3s. Ben can't do that. It's a 1-point game. So Watford doing a bit of everything. Staying with Trae Young there, forcing the pass. Bogdanovic, the response is not there. And there's a very soft foul on the floor. And it's going to be on Watford. I have no idea what the whistle's for. So, Trendon, man. I love this guy and what he brings. So good. So good. Are you fucking serious? Are they calling it a shooting foul? No shot. O'Neal, he's off! Yes! Oh my god, start the celebrations, people. Start the celebrations. Not because we may have just won the game, but because, oh my god, Hunter scores for 2. Finney Smith was late to the rotation, and it's going to be a 2+1. So the Hawks get the lead back. Yeah, I said start the celebrations, not because we're going to win the game, but because O'Neal has gone to the bench. Honestly, this is probably the best thing that could have happened to me in this viewing experience. Am I right in thinking Royce has a total of 1 point in the last 7 quarters? You're probably right. Let's not think about that, though, because otherwise we're just going to be hit with a wave of depression. And that's not what I'm looking for here when we're down only 2. The game is hanging in the balance. Dinwiddie the drive. Finds Johnson. He's open. He's ready to shoot. And he scores for 3. So the lead is regained again. It is back and forth. The definition of Murray to Okongwu to Murray. Picked up by Finney Smith. Behind the back. Kick out to Hunter. He's got Finney Smith on him. The drive, help defense is there, and it is a foul. And honestly, take your pick. I could not tell you who that foul is on. Johnson, yeah, he was just behind the line. So 110, 109. Hunter is at the free throw line for the second time in, I believe, about 3 possessions. This has been a really, really entertaining game of basketball, I have to say. 110 apiece. We've still got 7.5 to play. Bridges is going to check back in, you would assume, for the rest of the way. Watford to the bench, and he provided some excellent minutes in the time he was on the court. After a bit of a slow start, Walker remains with Dinwiddie in the backcourt, and then we've got Finney Smith, Johnson, and Bridges. For the Hawks, it's Hunter, Dejounte, Murray, Bogdanovic, Bay, and Okongwu. So majority of their bench are still in the game. I am a bit interested to see why he's holding out Claxton this long. He's on 4 fouls, you know. I don't think he's going to pick up the 5th like that quickly. Dinwiddie, Finney Smith is open, top of the key, and he misses. Oh, that has to be a foul. Walker took a shot to the face. He got swatted. Murray. The switch again. I don't know why we're playing small ball with... They've got a Okongwu on the floor. Oh my god, that is a deep 3. Bogdanovic is off. That is perfect. That's exactly what we want. If he makes that, fair enough. Johnson to Bridges. The Twins combine. Bridges. Layup. It's off, and it's a block by, I think it was Hunter. So now the Hawks again can find that breathing space they want. Hunter Thought about the three, got by Walker. The layup is good, and we don't have enough size on the court. Simply put, we don't have enough size. Hunter is dominating in the last 2 or 3 minutes. An unexpected source of offense, may I add. Dinwiddie one-on-one with the Kongwu. He's going to shoot a three, isn't he? Nope, he's going to drive it. And that's a smart play. He didn't get the flip to go. He wanted a whistle. He's not going to get it. It's 113, by the way, 112. Bay, the drive down the middle, got rid. That's off his leg, surely. It's going to be a timeout. Dinwiddie is having a chat with the officials. They've got to send Claxton back in. How many minutes has he played in this game? 26. That has to... You have to react on that now. He's got 20 points. We've had 4 players with 20 points or more in this game. And that's something I reckon I haven't been able to say the whole time I've been a Nets supporter. I mean, and it's on good efficiency except for Spencer. Even so, he's had 11 dimes, but he should not ever be taking 20 shots in a game. Ever. When you have Bridges, you have Johnson shooting the ball efficiently like that, Spencer's got to be a bit better. But the turnovers, we haven't had one in the quarter. That's a good sign. The rebounding sort of dried up offensively. The other thing, voice crack. Let me just take a sip of water. The other thing is this. Wait. The other thing is this. So the Hawks have already had 7 players in double figures. That is absurd to me. But the thing is this. Their turnovers have not really increased in number in this last quarter. So that's an issue. The offensive rebounds, not so much for them. The threes haven't really been happening at a high efficiency either in the final 3 quarters. They started 9 of 15. They are now 5 of 25. So defensively on the perimeter, we've been much, much better and closed out the shooters, forced them to drive it. Trae Young, since the first quarter, has only had 1 made field goal. He was 6 of 8, I think. And since that point, he's 1 of 10. So, I mean, Hunter's at 23. That is like something that doesn't usually happen, if ever. So it's just another one of those typical games where we let a role player go nuts. But, I mean, this game is hanging in the balance. Claxton needs to return. If they play fucking small ball after the defensive quality that Claxton provided in the previous 2 quarters, I'm going to be absolutely livid at that. So, here we go. We are reaching the pointy end of the game. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. What did he give us? 3 straight fouls in the 4th quarter, so Hawks put up straight in the bonus by O'Neal. He's so dumb. O'Neal is the biggest potato since James Johnson and probably since TLC. If you were there for the TLC days, my goodness. TLC gave me an aneurysm watching that guy. He was fucking stupid, that guy. He was so... Yeah, he was a bit special. A Kongwu. Oh no, Bay was open. And then, bro, Hunter again, man. Had Claxton in the air. Hunter has scored like half his points in the 4th, I would say. So 6 minutes to play. It's been a good quarter by the Nets, but haven't really made inroads. Dinwiddie, can he... Oh my fucking God, man. Just throws it out of bounds. A bit of miscommunication on the weak side. Bridges went to the corner. Dinwiddie was looking for him on the wing, and he just threw it out of bounds. So, Spencer's got to stop holding the ball for as long as he is. He's just got to get that distribution right. Murray can't shake off Clax, so he's forced into a pass to Bay. Murray still doesn't have the room. He's now going to shoot over Claxton, and he hits the 3. So, I mean, really, what can you do? But it's a 9-0 run, and we need to get a bucket now. Bridges, the response, he got it, and he was fouled. No, he wasn't. The play didn't stop. And why has my shot clock stopped? I have no idea. But we've got 5:15 to play. It's a 5-point game. Long, long way to go. I mean, a 5-point lead isn't safe with 1 minute to play, let alone 5. They whip it to the corner for Bay. Picks up his dribble. Murray shoots again over Claxton, and he's airballed it. Oh my God, he saved that. Please get the rebound. I cannot believe this. They have been in the worst positions for a rebound, and they fucking knocked down the 3 on the 3rd try. That absolutely grinds my gears. Absolutely grinds my gears. That is one that really, like, makes me grit the teeth. I'm so in the shits about that because we had the rebound twice. Okongwu saved it, like, from being 3 meters out of bounds. And then on the second crack, we had 2 players under the basket to their 1. Somehow they get the tap. You got to hustle. You've got to hustle. The game is there to be won. Bro, Bogdanovic. Mate, Bridges is irate. This year, I haven't seen him this angry at stages. Claxton finds Bridges. The layup is good. And he is so upset. I hope this gives him the fire in the belly that he needs to carry and possess for the final 4 minutes of this game. We need to get the stops. We need to get stops. Trae Young here, picked up by Claxton on the outside. 4 minutes to play. He's going to pull up for 3 from the logo, isn't he? Nope, he's going to drive. Layup. And it's a miss. And we get the rebound. So that was step 1 of the process. Now you've got to score on the other side. Bridges weaves through. Euro. Layup. Got it! Ah! I'm fucking G'd up now. I'm G'd up. I'm G'd up. That is such a good move by Mikal. He split 2 defenders, scored through the contact, and won with the Euro. So, I hope this fucking fires him up. This is what we need. To close this game out, it's going to have to be a dogfight in the last 4 minutes. So, Bridges makes it. It is now a 3-point game. Slowly chip into the lead. We get another stop. We go for, you know, a reduction of the margin. Oh my God, Claxton with the vert. In transition, Bridges to Johnson. Now get a good look. Our half-court offense is a little bit shit. What does Bridges do here? He drives on Young. The layup is swatted. And there's a foul. The Hawks were off to the races. And there's a personal on Capella. So, it's going to be on the arm. It's 2 free throws. Let's have a look at it here. And, yep, I think Johnson got him first. It's Johnson who... Well, he was the guy running the break. He did hit him on the arm. So, 3:27 to play, and these are the, you know, this is good. Getting these shots at the free throw line to reduce the deficit without the, you know, the game clock having a real impact. The first free throw is good. He is so fired up. You can see, like, even in the high fives with his teammates, he's fired up. He really is. And if Bridges can put this team on his back and win this game for the ball club, I think there's got to be some respect shown by the fan base, because this is like what we are seeking from Mikal in games where Cam Thomas is out. It is a 1-point game with 3.5 minutes to play. It's Trae Young. Bridges is 30 and 10. A double-double tonight. Trae Young picked up by Dinwiddie on the outside. It's a good mismatch. Claxton the help. They missed it again, but Capella was there for the follow. That's what happens when you have Claxton committing to the contest. Bridges into the paint. He shoots the fadeaway too, and he knocks it down. It's a 1-point game yet again. And it is just... It's seesawing this game. 2:45 to play. It's Young, picked up by Dinwiddie, picks up his dribble. Oh my fucking god, are you kidding me? Another shit foul. Dinwiddie is trying to, what's the word? He's just trying to defuse. The big thing in this final 2 minutes 40 is the rebounds. The offensive rebounds need to stop. Need to stop. Let's have a look at the chat and see what people are saying. Kolb, welcome to the stream, buddy. Rather see Watford on than DFS. Well, DFS is often finding himself as the guy who's, DFS is the guy boxing out Capella. I don't back Watford in. I mean, we had Watford, Sharp, and DFS on one possession, box out Capella, and they still lost. So, yeah. I'd rather have DFS out there. He's been with the team that's gotten it done for the majority of the game today. Mikal's had a really good game. I said I wanted the shots to be around... well, I wanted him to shoot the ball at about... I wanted him to have 20 shots, and I said he needed to have 30 points, and he's done both of those things. So, that's quality. Let me just go and double check the box score. So, we've got the 30 piece from Mikal we sought after. We've gotten 5 threes from CJ. Clax has gotten 20 and 10. There's like double-doubles all over the shop. We're shooting the ball better. The rebounds are good. The offensive rebounds haven't been there for a bit of time, and we haven't really turned the ball over in the last. The Hawks have actually gotten them... Well, the most points has been scored by DeAndre Hunter, so I would say that's fairly unprecedented. Their shooting has gone down. They've had 17 offensive rebounds, though. In the last quarter, that's come up huge for them. They've had 4 extra shots. They've hit 3 extra threes. We have been to the free throw line more, but we've made less free throws at the line. We win that rebounding edge, though, by 4 at the moment. And the turnover number hasn't really gone up for Atlanta. So I cannot get a gauge of who's going to win this game. It's just going to be down to the amount of stops either team can get. As we know, the Hawks played, what was it? Sorry, the Hawks played last night, and they, hold on. The Hawks, played last night, scored 152, still lost. They're going to want redemption. But those final 2 minutes 40, are they going to tire out? They haven't looked like slowing down at any point today. This is a big 2 minutes 40, though. For this team, you know, we've shown resilience in getting back into the game and really swinging things in our favor. Trae Young's at the free throw line because the Hawks are in the bonus, and he gets the first to go. So this is regulation stuff. We've got to keep him off the line, and we've got to keep him off the glass. We can't give him extra possessions or give him a reprieve for shit offensive sets, because we're not going to get that privilege on our end. So, voice crack. Both are made. 2:40 to play. We can tie the game or cut it to 1. Bridges to Dinwiddie. I beg it's not a turnover. Dinwiddie looks for Bridges into the paint, picks up his dribble, back out to Dinwiddie. Bridges wants it again. He's got Capella on him. He gets by. The layup is off. Put back by Claxton. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. 125, 124. 120 seconds to play. Trae Young on the perimeter. Oh, no. No! 3 for Trae. And that gives them a nice little 2-point or 2-possession buffer. We just haven't been able to get the stops down the stretch. Bridges, a steal was nearly on. Bridges kicks it back out to Johnson. It's good defense. Great defense by the Hawks. Dinwiddie shoots a three. It's good! The response! And that was not very well thought out, but regardless, we take it. It's a 1-point game again. We have to pick up Trae. Johnson rolls, passed it, turned it over. CJ gets the rebound. And we just need a score. We've scored basically every trip for like the last 5 possessions. It would be poetic if we didn't on this trip. Bridges drives on Murray, shoots a baseline 2. It's good! Let's go! Okay. 60 seconds to play. Nets have the lead. Bridges with 32. Dejounte one-on-one with Finney-Smith. Fadeaway 2. It's good. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. The Hawks are back in front. Dinwiddie's going to let the ball roll all the way to the half-court line. He picks up his, well, the rolling ball. That could have been a foul. Bridges, tightly guarded by Murray. One-on-one, he shoots a 3. No, that's never the shot, dude. We have to get a stop. I don't back it. All right, here we go. Murray picked up by Finney-Smith. He lost it. Get the board. Or the steal. No, we didn't. Young, runner. It's off. Rebound. How did Young get it? Claxton swats it. They still have the ball. Oh my god. Trae Young will drive on Clax. And he missed it. Get the board. We've got it. Timeout. Thank you. Oh my god. How fucking hectic was that? The Hawks had like 4 cracks at it. We got a timeout. We got a timeout in and we got the stop we needed. And I didn't even use the stop chant. First it was just bodies diving on the floor to get the ball. Trae Young missed the runner. He got his own miss. Claxton swatted it. And then on another drive, it was, well, it wasn't a rejection. It was just a miss. A miss. Capella somehow got his hands to it, but then Claxton was able to be physical enough to snatch it out of his hands, and Finney-Smith ended up with it. Dinwiddie, the assertive presence we needed to actually call the timeout. We've got 11.5 seconds. If you are enjoying, drop a like and subscribe. We'll be back in a couple of days. We've had quite a few of these close games. We're going to have to score a basket to win. It begs the question, do you run down the whole shot clock or do you... Yeah, do you run down the shot clock or do you give yourself a few seconds to potentially get the tip in because we've had 19 offensive rebounds today? Oh my god, I'm shaking, ladies and gents. Hype in the chat. Okay. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. Please get the job done. Alrighty. I'm actually shit scared. We've got 11.5 seconds to get a shot up. Trae Young's on the bench because you can't have a liability out there. And you know what? That actually could have been a play. We just kept the play running to attack Trae Young. No, he's on the floor. He's on the court. That's an interesting move. Lonnie Walker is into the game. So Bridges, Johnson. Like, we just need a 2. We just need a 2. Bridges, the screen, and the switch. Bridges, layup. He missed it. Johnson. Yes. Woo! Ah! Johnson with the tip in. I said it before the play happened. We could have gotten an offensive rebound. We'd had 19 of them before that play. Number 20 is the most important of the lot. Bridges, they didn't want the switch. They didn't want Murray to be off the ball. And it worked. I mean, Murray forced the Mikal miss. But Johnson was there. There was no one putting a body on him. And he soared over the top to score. And we've got 3 whole seconds to get a stop. We have conceded 130 points today. I beg you do not give away any open looks. I beg. Please. Okay, ladies and gents, the stop chant has to be enforced here. The stop chant has to be enforced. The stop chant has to be enforced. Ladies and gents. Okay, well, CJ's gone down to the locker room. Oh no, Royce is in. Royce is in. I can so see him fouling the three-point shooter or some bullshit. Okay, never mind. CJ is okay. No, he's on the bench. So they opt to not risk it because Johnson's knee is really sore, it looks like. He's taking the magic juice. All right, 3 seconds. I'm going to just curl up into a ball if we lose this game. 3 seconds. The Hawks will inbound through Murray. Trae Young will get it. Oh my God, he's fouled him. He fouled him! Spencer! Oh, you fucking idiots! Trae Young beat him to the spot and Dinwiddie just got in the way. So, fucking hell, I knew someone was gonna foul. Fucking idiotic. I don't even know why they put Spencer on the floor, to be honest. We got 1 second. He missed! He missed! He missed! Okay, box out. Get your rebounders in. Dayron, check into the game right now. Yep, he's in. O'Neal to the bench. That liability, that stupid piece of shit goes to the bench. If Trae Young misses the second, you have to be there to just knock it away. You've got 1 second. There's surely not going to be enough time. Surely not going to be enough time to get a tip in. Unless you don't put the body on. Young the second. It's good. Okay. Timeout. We've got 1 second to draw up one play that will get us one win. But an important win at that. It's 131 apiece. We could be seeing some extra free basketball, folks. Oh my God. Okay. Alrighty. So, yeah. Last year, the Hawks had a game winner. We should have... Yeah, last year the Hawks got a game winner through Trae Young on the buzzer. And then we also won a game in Atlanta on the back of the Hawks missing a game winner. So, excuse me. This could be a repeat of history, except it goes in our favor. This is the revenge game. If you are enjoying, make sure to show your support. Drop a like on it and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back in a few days' time for Nets Heat, and then a day after we have a back-to-back. So it'll be Nets versus, I think, Chicago? I don't know. It's one of those teams. It's one of those teams. But let's see who's in. Let's see who's in. So for the Hawks, it's Bay, Johnson, Hunter, Murray, and someone else. So a lot of length. We have Johnson, Bridges. What the fuck is O'Neal doing passing the ball in? Are you serious? Dinwiddie's also in, and I can't see who's on the weak side in the corner. But best believe they won't be involved. 1 second. Here we go. Bridges, shoot it! Dribble! Oh! It was an air ball, but it was an open look. Why has it gone back up to a fucking minute? Why has it gone back up to a minute? I think it was Lonnie Walker on the court. So that was a good look. Mikal got around the screen with a wrap around. Walker was sitting in the corner. Let's just have a look at it again. Yeah, they were just doing like the spin cycle over and over again with the Twins. Yeah, so we got 5 minutes of extra basketball. 5 more minutes of play. And I didn't really come planned with this because now I have Like, it says quarter 4. I'm just going to have to get rid of that. Alrighty. 5 minutes of extra basketball to play. Okay. So, lads in the chat, get hype. We have 5 more minutes. And honestly, I'm not ready for this shit, man. Oh, for God's sake. This is the situation with the box score. I mean, the Hawks have gotten some great scoring out of their players. It's the offensive rebounding. We gave away 19 offensive boards, but obviously we aren't where we are if CJ doesn't tip it back up and in for our 21st offensive board. So, I mean, 4 players with 22 or more. That is something that I can't recall happening with the Nets team. Bridges has had an excellent game. He really took charge in that last quarter. He's now up to 34 points in the game. So he really put the team on his back in the last quarter. He only had like 20 at 3-quarter time. He had 10 shots alone in the last quarter. It's going to be interesting to see if our offense is stunted, or I don't know what's going to happen here. But we have played this game perfectly because the Hawks are playing on the second night of a back-to-back. So you hope that they're tiring out. But the thing is with the Hawks, you look back at their minute distribution and you can see that 3 players off the bench have played 25 minutes. So they've spread the scoring well. No one's really close to 40 minutes. A lot of big things could have happened, though, in that 5 minutes. Like, Dinwiddie hits a contested 3 out of nowhere. The CJ tip in. Trae Young misses a free throw. Like, so many things could have gone against us, but we got it done. So the Nets will have like a 2-day break after this, so they've got to leave it all out there. 5 minutes of extra basketball, and the Nets win the tip. So that's a good start. Okay. Bridges, picked up by Murray. It looks like that's just going to be the assignment the whole way. Bridges gets to his spot. Oh, the hang, and he gets the bounce to go. And he's on a heater at the moment. He is on a heater. He's been superb in this last quarter and, well, now a bit of OT. Trae Young tries to shake off Dinwiddie, and he scores the deep mid-range. So I guess that's just down to brilliance, really. You can't really do much about that. It's a good shot to concede. Bridges takes it all the way, and he was off on the finger roll. It was there. Murray, 3 for Hunter. It's open, and it doesn't have enough legs. So hopefully that's what we're going to be seeing. A lot of threes by the Hawks and a lot of threes falling short. Dinwiddie on the perimeter. Picked up by Murray. The high screen. Dinwiddie into the paint. Shoots. That is a wild layup. Why would you ever shoot that? Oh, well done. Murray. Oh my God. Doe, what are you doing? It's off. Murray gets the board. What is... Bro, Finney-Smith he has had an absolute mare in that 20-second sequence. Turns the ball over after even thinking about where he was going to pass it, and then he doesn't box out on the miss. Inexcusable. Mikal into the paint. The layup is off, and another rebound for the Hawks. So they are sticking with this Nets offense. It's just Mikal. It's Operation Mikal. Oh my God. Trae from the logo. He knocks it down. Like, fucking hell. That is ridiculous. But what do you really want us to do there? Like, you can't really pick him up at the logo. Well, you can, but... Oh my God. Have we missed another fucking shot? That was a shit lob. Another 3 for Young. That's going in. Nope, it's an air ball. A rebound for Johnson. So, we've just got to relax a little bit. Bro, get it past half court. Fucking hell. Nearly gave away an 8-second violation. Bridges for 3. It's good. Right in front of the Nets bench. And it's back down to 2. So, 2:30 to play. We're halfway into OT. Bridges has 39 points. Trae Young is doubled. Bounce pass now. Hunter, what the hell is this defense? It's off. Get the rebound. Fuck's sake. Capella again with the board. Murray, oh my God, behind the back. The push shot is short. The rebound by Dinwiddie. And, bro, Finney Smith has had an OT period to forget. Dinwiddie got it +1. Oh! It was almost the dunk. Almost. But the fact that he was right there at the rim means, even with a little bit of contact, the margin for error was pretty small. So yeah, Murray just right there on his hammer. Dinwiddie at the free throw line to retake the lead for the Nets. It's good. He gets the bounce. It wasn't convincing, but we're back up by 1. After being down 5 about a minute or so ago, Young gets by Finney Smith. Runner is off. Rebound O'Neal. Why is he in the game? CJ's gone to the bench. He looked like he was a little bit sore, but I think he's okay. I mean, they're just sitting him out for the closing. Bridges gets by Johnson. Layup is off again. No. Murray. Drive. Pass. Gets it back. Claxton the contest. That has to be a foul. Bro. The one time we have possession. The one time we have possession on a rebound. Fuck's sake. Every time, dude. The fact that they still have this damn basketball. They're going to have to get it in. Yep, they do now to Capella, who's on the perimeter. Picked up by Bridges. Bridges knocked it away. They still got it to Murray. And now Trae Young, he's got 4 to shoot. That is an absolute stinker of a foul call. Nothing you can do is, if you're Finney Smith. Trae Young just basically stopped and waited for Finney Smith to run into his back. That's such, like, I thought they ruled those ones out. Let's see if Trae Young chokes under pressure again. So the Hawks make the first. They have looked so bad on their jump shots, like they're running out of gas, clearly. Okay, Trae Young. Second free throw, 70 seconds to play, he makes both. And the Hawks crack 140. Bridges. High screen O'Neal. Bridges, 1-on-1. He's going to drive on Hunter. He's going to shoot the 2. He got it to go! And he's talking a bit of shit to the bench. Not the Hawks bench, the Nets bench. 41 for Bridges. Trae Young drives, gets to his spot, and he scores for 2 again. Finney Smith has constantly found himself in the mismatch. It's got to be far more difficult than that. Bridges picked up by Young. He's doubled. Claxton, back to Bridges. 9 to shoot. Oh my God. Oh my God! How has that gone in? It just sat on the rim for about 10 seconds. I was just watching and waiting for that ball to go in. I mean, on a night where luck isn't going your way, that ball rims out. Bro, Mikal is just getting to his spots in the mid-range and is finding a way. Fucking hell, this guy's on crack. Mikal with 43. I've put him on the spotlight. And the man's has taken charge. He has scored 43 points. And, well, none of the other stats have changed for, like, ages. I reckon he was at, like 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, he has been on a tear. Like, he's just taken charge. So good to watch. If you are enjoying, make sure to show your support. You know what to do. We have 26 seconds left. There's a 2-second difference between shot and game. And, wow. Hawks down 1. And look, the way the Hawks have been shooting the ball in overtime, a lot of their shots are falling short. So we need all hands on deck if the shot is off. I would imagine the Hawks run down the clock. Mikal has scored 23 in the 4th and overtime. We talked about him using like those missed calls as fuel. He well and truly has done that. A Kongwu to Trae Young in a switch. I want Claxton on him, and that is the matchup we've got. Trae Young, midi, it's good. So we're going to get a timeout, are we? Nope. We're just running it. Bridges. 13 seconds left. Bridges drive. Swatted! Oh my goodness! Who was that? A Kongwu! That is incredible. I can't argue with that. That is an incredible defensive play. And I think we got the switch we wanted. We wanted Clax on Trae. That is unbelievable. By a Kongwu. Incredible bit of athleticism. And Trae Young's back at the free throw line, so... Far out. So Trae he had a very down patch in like the 2nd, the 3rd, and basically the 4th. But he's well and truly delivered in overtime. Has there ever been a team that scored 145 points back-to-back nights? If Trae misses this, well, you know that... No, he doesn't. So we have to score a 3 to send it to double. To double overtime. They just don't die, the Hawks. They just don't die. And we've had the lead multiple times. Multiple times here. That's an unbelievable stop by a Kongwu. Met him right at the apex. I mean, if he doesn't get there, that is a layup. But I'll tell you what also, there's been a lot of blown layups by Mikal in overtime. We probably needed to... Like, I don't think anyone aside from Mikal has taken a shot in overtime. So, look. If JV is actually legit, he'll do something right here where he doesn't... Like, he gives off the impression Mikal is going to get the final shot. But we give it to someone else. The other thing is, Mikal has scored 23 points since the start of the 4th. Do you just give him the ball and you just say, well, you're good enough to hit the 3-pointer? Are they going to foul? I mean, they've got to be perfectly timed with this foul as well. Because if they shoot while he's shooting, or foul while he's shooting, then they could absolutely screw themselves over. Especially if we hit the 3-pointer on that whistle. So, here we go. O'Neal, Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, Walker, Bridges, 5 on the floor. The Hawks going with size here down the stretch. Okongwu, Hunter, Jalen Johnson, Murray, and Sadiq Bey. I don't know what's happened to Cam Johnson. He just may have like a bit of a sore knee or something. Like, because we've missed him. It would be a good go-to option for a 3. We've got to get the ball in. Get it in. There he is. Bridges. Oh, he fucking tripped over. It's a foul. It's a foul. And we got 4 seconds to play. So, I reckon Johnson's just gonna... Well, here's the thing. What the hell happens if... Okay, yep. So, that is an incredibly soft foul to call. Bridges fell over. But it's one of those ones where what is Johnson really supposed to do for the Hawks? It's going to be free throws. So I don't know if, as a Nets personnel, what are you saying? Are you saying make the first, miss the second, or are you saying make both? Because we've got a timeout left, so we can do something with that. Bridges makes the first, and it is down to 2. Are we making or missing? We'll see with the subs here or what the intention is. And it looks like it's just going to be make both. Because, well, we've got 4 seconds left. We've got a timeout in hand. So Bridges, the second free throw coming up. Takes a deep breath. 2 dribbles. Free throw is good. Okay. So the Hawks are going to call their final timeout. And we've reduced the lead. So there is room for us to potentially get the job done. It's going to be incredibly tough, though. Incredibly tough, though. If you are enjoying, make sure to show your support in more ways than one. There is a donation button as well if you'd like. Bro, Mikal has just been on crack in this game. 45 points. We've had 4 players scoring in all four players who have scored in double figures. Well, they've scored more than 20. It's pretty crazy stuff. What do we do? We've had 113 shots. You know, the good thing is we haven't turned the ball over in like the last quarter and OT. The problem is we haven't nearly enough, you know, gotten steals down the stretch. I mean, we've got to foul them immediately. So, yeah. CJ's been our best 3-point shooter, so I don't know what's happened to him. It looked like there was a possession where he did pull up and he looked a bit sore. Trae Young's got 42, but he has taken it on 31 shots. So, like, it's been a very good defensive performance since quarter time by the Nets to really stop him from doing what he wanted. Here we go. The ball is going to be triggered in by Trae. No, wait. What? Okay, it's a foul. They took a bit of time to, you know, actually foul him. 2 seconds left. Trae Young is going to shoot 2 more. They don't have a timeout left, the Hawks. So you would not want, in this situation, like, to not be able to inbound the ball, but the Hawks did get it inbounded, and Trae Young will be at the free throw line again, just farming these points. It's been a very unconventional 40-point game by Trae Young. Like, he is not really... Like, he rocked up when Mikal Bridges started to heat up. Like, it's actually insane the Hawks have done what they've done on the second night of a back-to-back. Got to give them credit. But... Oh, Clax is fouled out. So we're going to have to run with Dayron for the rest of the way. 2 free throws here for Trae. He's off! He's off! He's off! He's off! Okay, he's off. Okay. CJ is like flexing his leg on the bench, so something must have happened to like his knee or something. So Trae misses the first, and that's a little bit of the fatigue setting in. He makes the second. We've got a timeout. Do we go for the 3 or do we go for the 2? If I'm JV, I try to extend this game. I try to extend this game, if I'm honest. We've got 2 days of break following this. I reckon you try prolong the game. The Hawks are on the second night of a back-to-back. I think you have to play the percentages, but it really comes down to what you can draw up for a, 2-second sort of play. You probably have time for maybe 3 or 4 dribbles, if that, and obviously the shot. So I think it's going to come down to just best shot available, really. We've got to trigger the ball in. That is immediately step 1. Damn, yeah, CJ just got really sore at the end of regulation. Like, really sore. He looked fine, but yeah, it looks like he's just really sore in the knee. He's had a really good game, and they can't run him. He wouldn't be able to shoot the three, so of course they've brought in fucking Royce O'Neal. They've brought in Royce O'Neal for the final possession. Okay, this is going to be the three-pointer of dreams if it goes in. And I'm going to go ballistic. If they shoot a three, that is. Here we go. 147, 145. Nets need a score to tie or win. Here we go. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. It's in. Walker! Shoot it! Oh my god, it's waved off. We've lost. We fucking lost. We conceded 147 points. Ah! Bro, how was that the final shot? Why are we so bad at the final shot? Surely there was a better set play you could draw up. I mean, O'Neal made the right decision because Mikal could not be past the ball. Lonnie took too many dribbles. At that point, he went for a deep two. He should have just shot the three, honestly. Should have just shot the three. The game's done. We've lost by 2. We've conceded 147 points. Oh my god, bro. This was a game we had to win. The situation was so in our favor. The Hawks were playing on the second night of a back-to-back. And we let him score 147 points. I know in overtime, but 147 points. Like, and Trae Young had a shit game for 3 quarters. He rocks up for the first and the fourth and overtime. And they still win. They had enough contributors in the middle portion of the game to get it done. DeAndre Hunter had some big buckets at the start of the fourth to keep the scoreboard ticking over. That is a missed opportunity and a half. We had Mikal Bridges play his best game for the team this season by far. And it's not as far as just saying it's because of the 45 points. It's because of the way he did it. And because of the time of the game he switched on. Like, he shot above 50% on 31 shots. He has not done that this season at all. We had 4 players score 20 or more and could not win. We had 22 offensive rebounds and couldn't win. The turnovers were the big problem. The first quarter was invariably the biggest problem. You concede 45 points. You concede 45 points in the first quarter. You have immediately given yourself a huge uphill battle in getting back into the game and chasing it. It is such a letdown that is the result, because of so many good things that came out of that game. I mean, we were talking about how we miss Cam Thomas. This is a prime example of us not missing Cam Thomas. We still scored 145 points without him. That's not the issue. The defense is the issue. In overtime, Dorian Finney-Smith got blown by quite a few times when he had to pick up Trae Young. I don't know why Trae Young was getting guarded by Dorian Finney-Smith. Claxton was the ideal matchup. He scored over him in one possession in overtime, but just like Trae he played 40 minutes, but he shot 12 of 31, man. Hunter had 25. I don't think he's played like that all season. Murray shot the ball like trash. It was the 9 offensive rebounds we gave away to Capella, man. We ended up giving away the same amount of offensive rebounds. The interesting thing is, in seasons gone by, if we give away 22 offensive rebounds, we are getting absolutely destroyed. the fact that we had 22 of our own, I think says a lot about our rebounding improvement this year. That being said, like, if you're getting 22 offensive rebounds, best believe you should be having a huge advantage. And the fact we had less shots, we hit less threes, we got to the free throw line less, like that really hurts. Really hurts. We shot the ball better than them in the end. We shot 49% from the field and 43% from three, compared to their numbers of 44% and 37%. But it was the free throws at the back end of the game. There were a couple times we bailed them out. You look back, you see like the Mikal, there was a three-pointer, Mikal fouled the shooter, like that sort of thing. A couple times we bailed him out, like 1 second, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. And then there were some turnovers which were completely preventable. Like, we had the danger laid out in front of us and we still try to execute the pass, and it was well and truly not on. But yeah, I mean, the team fought back well in the second half. We only gave away 54 points in the second half. Like, given we conceded 45 in the first quarter, that was an incredible fight back by the team. But you look at those bench minutes for, like, the Hawks. They had plus 16, plus 17, plus 10 from, like, AJ Griffin was a plus 10 in 3 minutes. And they played some big minutes, the majority of them, and had some good contributions. You look at ours, and we didn't have enough contribution. Like, O'Neal had 0 points in 21 minutes. You know, Dayron was pretty good. Lonnie Walker wasn't great. He didn't take enough shots. Watford had some really good minutes. I would have liked to have seen him pick up. Someone did say play Watford over DFS. That potentially could have been an option, putting Watford on Trae Young and seeing what the results were. We should have played Watford down the stretch over O'Neal. You look at what O'Neal was doing in the final couple of plays. He was inbounding the ball. Watford is a facilitator. Why wasn't he in the game? So it's those little things. I don't know what's happened to Cam Johnson as well, because he looked a little bit in the shits on the side with regards to an injury. He had a really good game. It's a pity that he could not play the final 5 minutes. It's just like when we played the Heat and we lost, and he was a plus 18 in a 7-point loss. He played 27 minutes because he was in foul trouble. This game, he was missing the pointy end of the game because he got injured. So it's like, he's been hit with a fair bit of misfortune in a season where obviously we just paid him. It's off the back of an extension. So, like, it's a real dampener. But yeah, like, Mikal missed a few layups in overtime. It's those sort of things. Like, it's a real dampener, this loss. We can look at the team stats as well, and you can see, like, big differences from quarter time. Here's a very telling stat, though. The total turnovers, we had 16. They had 14. The points off our turnovers, 25. The points off their turnovers, 14. So we did not put them to the sword nearly enough. The fast break points, only 9 in the game. So that, I guess, is it's probably attributing a lot of the scoring to Mikal Bridges in overtime, a lot of half-court offense, a lot of tough shot making. But yeah, like, steals lifted, blocks lifted, but, like, you concede 147 points, primarily off the back of a 45-point opening quarter, and then overtime, obviously extending the game and giving you more time to score. Yeah, it's going to always be tough. Thing is with Cam Thomas is that he takes significant work off Bridges, which allows him to play harder on defense. I will say, for the final shot, Cam Thomas would always be your guy. This is a game where we needed Cam Thomas primarily for the final shot and the final shots only. Like, with that much attention Mikal was attracting, like, if you have Cam in the game, Cam can obviously dribble out the clock. Mikal's probably off ball. Cam will attract multiple defenders, and then surely the shot's going to open up somewhere, barring a good rotation across. We need Ben and DSJ. I'll tell you what, DSJ could have been a very, very good player today because Dinwiddie was getting cooked. I mean, Dinwiddie gives away the free throws at the end of regulation. Trae Young constantly found himself in a switch with DFS. Like, it's those sort of things. Like, we were missing players that we really could have used today. Cam Thomas makes one of those clutch shots he's made for those moments. Yeah, that's the thing. He may not make them, but I think he's probably the best position to make one. Ben has missed so much in this one. Claxton, what a great game. We're missing 3 crucial players. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bridges, it was a superstar performance by him, 100%. Royce he needs to stop playing. Watford should be playing his minutes now. I think he's got to make that harsh decision. It's not even a harsh decision because what the fuck has Royce done to warrant 21 minutes? He's like PJ Tucker, but somehow worse. Like just empty stats. Or not empty stats. He doesn't even get stats. But yeah, like, it was a good defensive performance in terms of like the fight back. Trae Young ended with 43. He got a lot of those points from the free throws at the end. I mean, the field goal percentage for Trae Young was not great, and look at the volume. Given he started 6 of 8, great fight back by the team, but obviously he made the shots when it counted and got the fouls when, the Hawks needed a reprieve because they were tiring out. They needed to, get as many points as they possibly could without exerting that much energy. And the free throws were the way to go. And it was through the player of Trae Young, which allowed that to happen. But it's just, it's a dampener. I think one last thing I'll check. We talk about the amount of offensive rebounds. Both teams are 22, but let's see the second chance points. Okay. Second chance points. 22 offensive rebounds, both teams. 29 second chance points the Hawks. 27 the Nets. How much did we lose by? 2. How many points did we get outscored by in second chance points? 2. So yeah, that adds a little bit more pain. That's going to do it. I mean, quality stream though, because it was a ripper of a game. Very, very seesawing. But unfortunately, the job is, we didn't get it done. And, as I said, 147 points is a bit of a joke. So it is a dampener. But we move forward to Nets Heat. I mean, we were giving away points for fun the last time we played them about a week ago, and that was not a fun game to watch. So hopefully we're back on the winners list then, but yeah, this one sort of hurts. This one actually does hurt because we were in the position to get the job done and we just didn't. So many, like, we talk about fine margins, the fine margins in the second chance points, like, there may have been sequences where we had 2 or 3 chances to get a rebound and we couldn't. And then they score a 3-pointer off the back of it. That sort of stuff. Turnovers, completely avoidable, completely careless decision-making at times. It's that sort of thing which does my head in, but it's all a learning experience. I mean, we've really got to figure this out defensively because, like, we cannot be doing what we're doing. With this team, with the personnel we've got, individually they're good defenders, but schematically as a team, it's not working. So either you go back to the switch defense, or I don't know what comes next. But yeah. Any final thoughts, let me know. And then we will head off. TLC had at least one decent year. Yeah, it's just... And I can't really say much more. The Johnson injury was crucial because I don't think anyone else besides Mikal had shots in the late game. So, like, yeah. It's yeah. We needed someone to sort of relieve the pressure. We could have gotten a 3 from CJ on the final shot. Something as simple as a drive and kick could have made it work. But yeah, we were not guarding Trae in the first, the same as later in the game. What's wrong with this coaching? I think it was more matchups. DFS was on Trae a ton. Dinwiddie is not the guy to be picking him up. DSJ would have been really good in a game like this to stop the first quarter scoring performance of Trae Young. They're like the same build, and DSJ would have absolutely hassled him on the perimeter. So he could have afforded to, pick Trae up a little bit further back, like right at the logo, and still not get bypassed. So that's like a key player we were missing for matchups. We talk about matchups. DSJ is not good in some matchups, but today he would have been perfect, especially when we shipped off 45. I imagine that would have been lesser of a total if, he was playing. So, yeah. But that's going to do it. Thank you for tuning in. My voice is gone. It was a good stream, though. Quite eventful. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. So thank you for tuning in. We will see you in a few days' time. Stay safe until then. But for now, bye for now.